This is driving me crazy. It doesn't want to go. What's up, Valerie, Shannon? How you guys doing? I'm trying to go live on Instagram, but it does not want to go live on Instagram. I don't know. Good morning, good morning. It does not want to go live on Instagram. It says to click go live, and I'm doing that, but it won't do it. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Well, whatever. I guess we're not going live on Instagram. It's fine. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. We're going to have a great day today, everybody. I want to remind you of something really important. Know your worth, okay? Know your worth because not everyone else will. I am too, Chris. I got like 2 hours of fucking sleep. I got 2 hours of sleep. I just want to bullshit today. We'll hang out. We'll chat for a little bit until I'm like too tired to give a shit and go take a nap. So we'll see how long this lasts. That's kind of how I feel about it. I did take my things off the screen to see if that'll help so I don't get flagged. Again, like I have been over the last couple days. I got my coffee with a shot of espresso, trying to get the shit moving today because your girl is tired. I'm super tired. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm inviting friends to come and hang out and chat. The title of today's live stream is Trump Still Sucks. Because he does. He sucks. And why does he suck? That's a great question. I mean, I think the shorter list would be why doesn't he suck? But we're still gonna just we're gonna go over some things. That's all I can say. Um, sorry. So sorry. All right, so uh hello. Hello. So my friend Qasim Rashid, if you don't know who that is, you should be following him because he's fucking amazing. Posted something interesting, and to look at the numbers and like really look at the numbers, I have somebody in the chat named Manuel Rivera who said Trump is the best. Bro, why do you hate yourself? Manuel Rivera. Why do you hate yourself? Anyway, what's up, you man? He posted something, and to see the numbers all lined up next to each other is really crazy, right? $100 million on golf, 172 million for jets for Ice Barbie, 230 million in DOJ payments to Trump, 250 million for Vanity Ballroom, 40 billion to Argentina, 117 billion in annual tax cuts to the super wealthy 1%, 170 billion for the ICE budget. Meanwhile, we have no money for food stamps. Joseph, I don't know why your family was standing on the streets, or everywhere, as you say, but maybe you should ask them. Like, maybe you should ask your dad why he was standing around on Saturday. Ask your uncle, your brother. Look inside yourself and ask yourself why you were standing around with all of these people on Saturday. And if you think that I'm fucking stupid, you know what? I'm just gonna block you. Good morning, Ghost. This chuckle fuck's username is Joseph Goebbels SS. Look at you, you original fucking fuckface. Does Melania really speak 5 languages? I believe so. Yes, Airwolf. Yes. I go by Amanda now. I don't go by my username anymore. My name is Amanda. We go by Amanda. No longer no rats to the nats. I am turning frogs gay, Bill. I am. Sorry about that. I know the poor frogs. Wow, we have a lot of Nazis in the chat today over on with the tubies. Oh, there we go. We have been live for 5 minutes and 48 seconds, and someone named Joe's 333 said, "Are you trans?" Melania can plagiarize in 5 languages. Do you guys remember that? Word for word took Michelle Obama's speech. That wasn't even like inspired by. That was word for word the same fucking speech. So how do you guys feel about that, right? I mean, we can guy, don't do that. That's not okay. Saying she can barely speak English is not okay. English is not her first language, and making fun of people for that is we're not with that. We're not with that, okay? We don't do that. We can talk about who she is as a person, like her character, but let's not do that, okay? Because there are plenty of people who are good people, where English is not their first language, and they try. So, buenos dias. Yes, she did. We could talk about that, how she cheated the system to get here in the United States because of Trump and you know, bullshit ass money talks. Money talks. We could talk about that, but we're not gonna make fun of people. Crossland, if that's something you want, then you gotta pay for it. Right. Listen, we know what your browser history is like. Can I speak Chinese? I cannot. Right, we could talk about when she wore the jacket that says "I don't care" while people are suffering. We can talk about that. We can definitely talk about that. Oh boy. Yeah, but I feel like that's not a nice thing to do. And we're better than that. Like we could talk about all the shitty things that they've done, but we're not going to make fun of somebody who's has broken English or who has a heavy accent. We just, that's super ick. Like a lot of my family members have heavy accents and sometimes have trouble with English. Like the words just they're not wording. Good morning, Skippy. I mean, shit. English is my first language, and sometimes the words aren't wording. So it is what it is, right? Good morning, Oslo. How are you? The Supreme Court has given this administration the ability to discriminate based on a lot of fucking things. You think English is easy? English is one of the hardest languages to learn. My dad came here young enough where he doesn't have an accent, but many other of my family members do. I am from Florida. Listen. Oh, it isn't easy. Okay, it isn't easy. World's oldest profession is grifting? Mm. My family's from Colombia. Barranquilla, Colombia, more specifically. Tipu says, speak Spanish. No. There you go. Spoke Spanish for you. Joseph said, after all your relatives are deported, then what are you going to whine about? Every one of my relatives is a United States citizen now. So, you're so white. Bye, Brian. Have a good day at work. Rosario. Why are we talking about Rosario? You're in Central Florida? So am I. So am I. No, Rob, you can't. Miami sucks. Yep. Oh, I don't think I'm a Rosario Dawson doppelganger, but you were at Epcot on Monday. I was at Magic Kingdom last Thursday. Never gonna get us, never gonna get us, never gonna get us. Boo ba ba ba. People pretend it's not about racism. Exactly. It definitely is. I mean, it's the same thing with them, allowing stop and frisk. Like, how do you know, how does somebody look suspicious just by existing? Like, you look suspicious because you're brown. That's crazy. That's crazy. Paul said, I was born here and still haven't received my green card. What the fuck is going on? Paul, listen, if you want to get your green card, you're going to have to send me $25 in the chat and I'll hook you up. I know a guy. What are we fear mongering about, Overcast? What are we fear mongering about? Wait, this country doesn't have official language. I did hear about that. New Yorkers weren't fucking having it, though, from my understanding. Shh. Así mismo que se jodan. On Canal Street? Yikes. New York always stands on business. Like, don't fuck with a New Yorker. I get really close so I can whisper to you. And I can tell you you're a piece of shit. I know. I remember that. He did sign an executive order trying to make English the official language. So weird. Like, why would you try to make something the official language that you barely speak? We can make fun of Trump because we don't give a fuck about him. Like, bro makes up his own words. Ugh. Your mom was born in East LA. Have I ever been to Waterford Lakes Shopping Plaza? I have not. Yes, they can now legally racially profile. That is true. That is true. How much does that wire you have in your nose cost? Well, it's gold. All right, Hope, have a great day at work. It's gold. So, I don't know. I paid like $40 for it, I think. But it's real gold. Kofifi! Dan, we're not great yet, unfortunately. We're still trying to find that greatness. But then we have, MAGA supporters, so we're never going to find the greatness as long as fucking MAGA exists, is how I feel. Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I don't know what this means. My daughter just texted me something. Yay! My daughter passed her PSAT. I don't know what that means. I didn't. That test's not a pass fail, but sure, honey. Whatever you say. From the politics community on Reddit, Christian musician. Oh, hold on. Christian musician who sang the national anthem for Trump at 2022 Christian musician who sang the national anthem for Trump at a 2022 rally is facing felony child sexual abuse material charges. He's facing CSAM fucking charges. Surprise, surprise. Go motherfucking figure. Who are the real predators? Religious employment, 846 people. Transgender people, 5. Drag queens, 1. if you guys are interested in keeping up with information like that, you can go to whoismakingnews.com and check out who are the real predators. And they keep a tally of that. I want to say that's Kristen's site. Kristen B. Yeah. Somebody in the comments says was the drag queen Rudy Giuliani. Yikes. Yikes. All the schmeta schmiles. All right. What are our thoughts on the Plattner tattoo thing? I think it really does look like that. I think it really does look like that. I don't know if I can say that, what it is on here. Hold on. I gotta. Graham Plattner tattoo. I mean, it's hard to see it. It's hard to see it clearly. Like, it could be like the SS Enterprise for all we fucking know. But from what I have seen, it does in fact look like that type of tattoo. Let's see if this is a clearer photo. No. So Graham Plattner, who is one of the candidates for one of the Democratic candidates for Senate in Maine, has to go through the primary, but he has a tattoo that looks like a Totenkopf. Somebody's calling. I don't know what they're calling for, but let's answer. Hello. How are you? What's going on?
I just wanted to call in and I don't really have a dog in the fight. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. I
Sure.
kind of just root for America and follow what really goes on in politics and you know so I just wanted to ask a couple questions
Okay.
and kind of see where you're at in the world and on positions. Okay.
Okay.
Do you think it's in the national interest of our country to retain all our trade partners in the Western Hemisphere?
To do what with our trade partners? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Retain all of our trade partners.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that it's a national interest, USA, to sorry, my voice is
You're okay.
do you think it's in the interest of the country to keep the United States a Federal Reserve currency?
I mean, if our option is to go to fucking crypto, then yeah, we should.
Precisely. Society's off. Okay. I think that the most valuable foreign asset that the United States right now, to this date, is the Panama Canal.
No.
What would be more valuable than the single most choke point in the Western Hemisphere?
Well, I don't think it's up to us to decide what happens with another country's property.
Okay. So the Panama Canal, the land that it's built on, is actually international water. It's agreed upon by
Sure, but does it
international. Yes,
Sure, but what are we contributing to the Panama Canal itself?
we built it.
Sure. How long ago did we build it? How long ago did we build it?
1900 to 1940.
Okay. So we're in 2025. What are we contributing now?
We now own both sides of the Panama Canal. We're dealing with it. We're controlling.
I can't hear you.
Let me
You're
move
you
closer.
keep
I'm like deep inside my house here. Sorry. So we're controlling now what goes through the canal, meaning that here, uh, Western Mexico and Chile, I can't get without going
y-
to the southern America.
you don't have
That
you don't
means that
I can't hear you, friend. I'm getting like three syllables and then static and then like maybe a word.
can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why the United States is interested in controlling the Panama Canal is that we need to control that so that when China tries to send their goods through here, get them into Mexico, and then bring them up to the southern border, they can't avoid the tariffs. That's what the sweeping tariffs were about. Okay, what Trump is doing with the deployment of the military into the Caribbean, right? Warships, yada yada yada. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the world. They are
Mhm. I didn't say of the world. You asked me should that be our default currency? And I said to you if our options are that or crypto, then I would prefer to not go to fucking crypto. But what does that have to, like we're talking about a whole lot of different things. Like currently the United States does not possess any operational control or funding responsibility for the canal. Like Panama under the what is it, the Torrijos Carter Treaty in 1977, the U.S. agreed to transfer the canal to Panama. So
yeah,
I,
the one that
okay.
it's
So
this is the
and
whole
then you're talking about blowing up ships of regular people. Like I don't
That's
know.
not what we're talking about. What we're talking
Well,
about
you
is
talk about a whole lot of
geopolitical
different things.
strategy that, well, because it's all connected.
Sure.
It's geopolitical strategy. It's the overall strategy of what they're trying to do, which is they're trying to keep the dollar as the Federal Reserve currency through the world banking system and set up a competitor to OPEC.
Look, my
OPEC.
my bottom line is we should stop interfering in other countries and stop harming other people because historically that's what we do.
Historically, that's not what we do.
We don't. So we haven't destabilized many countries like
we.
we so we didn't destabilize the countries in the Northern Triangle. We didn't do that.
What do you mean by that?
The United States.
Government?
Yes, the United States government. Yes. Yes.
Which countries are we talking about?
I'm talking about the entirety of the Northern Triangle, and that's why people have like such a pissy ass attitude about Kamala Harris and immigration, and like she was the border czar and blah blah blah. Like we destabilized those countries, we caused harm to those countries, and so because we destabilized those countries, are you gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna talk over me?
Go ahead. No, I'm gonna let you talk. Right, go ahead.
So because we destabilized those countries and did all of the things that caused harm to them, the people did not have a choice. They lost access to resources, crime increased, yada yada yada, so they started to come here. Like if you said that you don't really follow politics and you didn't vote, like why are you so
very well?
so then why didn't you vote?
Why wouldn't I vote, or why
Yeah,
didn't I vote?
why didn't you vote?
Because I couldn't stand either candidate.
Why? What about each candidate did you not like?
I don't think either of them aligned with my values.
Okay, so what are your values? What is
in line with you with what you're saying is that the United States shouldn't destabilize countries, but that's not what we're talking about.
Well, I'm asking you some questions because I want to know where exactly you're at. Like, if you didn't vote, then why do you give a shit?
Whatever's the best benefit of the United States of America.
But if you didn't vote, why do you give a shit?
Because it interests me.
It obviously doesn't interest you enough to at least have some type of input via your vote in what goes on in this country.
Oh, let me put it like this. I didn't vote in this cycle.
Why?
Because I didn't want to cast a vote next to Trump's name, and I didn't want to put my name next to Kamala's name.
Okay, so why didn't you want to vote for Trump?
Why?
Yeah.
It's a character. It's a character thing for me.
Okay, that's fair enough. I would agree that he has shitty character, and I wouldn't want to vote for him based on that. Just in and of itself.
Kamala, I didn't think that she, under Biden, she just couldn't distance herself from the policies of Biden, which a lot of those I really wasn't in favor
of. Which policies specifically?
The shutting down of the Keystone XL pipeline on day one, which did cause massive increase in oil prices on the western on our hemisphere side.
I think that you should talk. I think that you should look into the Keystone Pipeline because that didn't have shit to do with Biden.
Well, it was his first executive order when back in August.
The Supreme Court.
The
It was never open. The Supreme Court closed that down July 7th of 2020, I believe it was. That was done during Donald Trump's first term, and the oil was never intended for us, nor was it for gas.
The Supreme Court shut it down. Why would Biden put out an executive order on day one? So his very first executive order, prerogative. Explain that to me, if I'm wrong.
SCOTUS shuts down Keystone XL. I want to get you the exact date for it. Yeah, July 7th, 2020. So that didn't have anything. Biden executive order number 1. It was already shut down. It was shut down before the election even happened. So what you're talking about is him revoking the permits because the Supreme Court already. You keep cutting out, so I'm going based off the words that I hear. So you're talking about an executive order that was essentially just for show because they revoked No, it was already shut down, friend. It was shut down July 7th of 2020. He revoked the permits for. He revoked the permits because they were no longer.
No disrespect, but the Keystone Pipeline is not a functional pipeline yet. Okay.
Well, the Keystone Pipeline and the Keystone XL pipeline are not the same thing.
Yes, you're right.
I know. And so he revoked the presidential permit because SCOTUS already said that they could no longer proceed. So why would they keep the permits open?
Why would it be at the top of his prerogatives to close that?
I don't fucking know. Who cares? The Supreme Court already. No, it doesn't matter because the Supreme Court already ruled on it.
Ma'am, it's a moot point when we're talking about energy strategy anyway, because the Democrats have not been friendly to the oil companies to begin with.
The Keystone XL pipeline had jack shit to do with the United States other than it coming through our land.
Yes, to the ports.
And it was never intended for us. It was tar sands oil. It was not for gasoline.
To charge a derivative on that oil to be transported through our land.
So did you want them to do that? And this also has nothing to do with Kamala Harris.
Again, it doesn't matter, okay? To me, it doesn't matter. That was just the first point I said that I really didn't like some of the, the plans.
But what does that have to do with Kamala Harris?
Ma'am, the green energy incentives in this country that have gone on the last decades have devastated the energy economy.
How so?
Energy prices, well, let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? To supply yourself with windmills and solar panels, you need to go to China and buy them, okay?
Sure.
That's how it works. Then you need to transport them.
Thank you.
All the way across the ocean. Then you need to build them, transport them all across into the interior of the United States because the best places to set them up are all in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to build them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a viable strategy for energy. It's just not because if we were completely dependent on the green energy then we would not be able.
So you're saying renewable because you're saying renewable energy is not a viable strategy when fossil fuels are finite.
Not to keep homes, business, and commercial industry powered.
But fossil fuel is finite. So how is that not?
That's not what we're talking about. You're saying what other policies, and I said the green energy policy. It's not a viable way to keep homes powered. Fossil fuels is how our economy is driven. That's how we transport everything as a fossil fuel. It's completely different from how we power homes, like with nuclear energy, natural gas.
So what is your proposition then? How do we fix that?
How do we fix what?
The energy, to the power for our homes. I mean, we have solar, we have wind, we have water.
Nuclear. Obviously nuclear. There's no other option. It's the best form of energy.
I feel like we're like, this conversation is all over the fucking place. Like, why do you give a shit about the Keystone pipeline, the Keystone XL, pipeline? What that has nothing to do with Kamala Harris. When I asked you why you didn't vote for Kamala Harris, and now you're talking about the green energy versus fossil fuels. Like, so why are you against green energy?
Why am I against it, or why am I not for it? Again, you have to ask these questions.
That's what I'm asking you. Okay, so you want me to ask you why you're not for it? Why are you not for it?
Because I've already said this, okay? If we have to power homes
through
windmills and solar
panels,
it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
Why? Why?
Because we're dependent upon China to get those goods. That's why.
So?
It's a national security risk.
Why is it a national security risk to get solar panels from China?
Why? Because what if they decide to cut us off? What if they go to war with a country that we're allied with, and we decide that we can't?
So you're saying what if? But we're not talking about.
What if? It's called contingent.
But again, fossil fuels are finite, so we have to do something in order to circumvent us losing access to a finite resource. Green energy is the future.
Conflating fossil fuels and how we move our economy to
no, sir.
how we power our homes, how we power our commercial industry. So
no, sir.
Very different things.
So you don't. So you think that this is wild. So you so you don't think it's worth moving to what?
I'm curious. Do you think we power semi-trucks with windmills and solar panels?
No.
No, we don't.
But why can't we move towards green energy for vehicles?
Why should we? When nuclear is just as clean of an energy source.
So you can build cars based on using nuclear power. We have the ability and the financial capability for that to be affordable for everyday people.
Did someone just suggest that you strap a nuke to a car?
You're the one who just said, how do we power semi-trucks? And then you're talking about nuclear energy. I'm asking, like, you can't bring up a scenario.
Chill. No, what I said was that you're conflating how we drive our economy, which is fossil fuels, with how we heat and power our homes.
No, I'm not. They're two separate conversations. There's two.
And you're blending the conversations.
No, I'm asking you why we can't move towards green energy for powering our homes and powering our businesses. Why?
Because if we're dependent upon a foreign nation to provide the goods that we need, if we were to go to war with another country, we wouldn't be able to obtain those goods.
Well, isn't partially point of the tariffs to drive manufacturing to the United States? So why is that not happening?
Well, actually, the Democrats are actually on board with the same strategy. Have you ever read the CHIPS Act?
Yeah, I've read the CHIPS and Science Act. Yeah, mildly, you make a good point. Then don't go to war. Don't go to fucking war.
Nobody wants war. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not carrying water for Trump's geopolitical strategy. What I'm saying is he's setting up a competitor for OPEC. Okay? That's what he's doing. It's in the national interest of the United States.
Why would he be setting up a competitor for OPEC, and how is he doing that? Because his family has financially benefited from OPEC and deals made with OPEC significantly. Jared Kushner specifically. So
in the Democrats are on board with this as well. It's in the national country to have a competitor to OPEC who doesn't control the price of oil and 80% of the market share. Okay? It's awful that we've resorted to this, but that's kind of what it is. So he has to put pressure on Venezuela, Colombia, Guyana, Chile, and Argentina are already on board with it. And then he's got to get Brazil to our side.
But why do you feel like we need to put pressure on? But no, like more specifically, let's have like a little bit of a psychological conversation about this. Why do you feel like we need to put? Why do you feel like we need to put pressure on countries by strong arming them instead of coming to diplomatic solutions?
Because sometimes you can't have a diplomatic solution with some people.
Well, why do you think that Colombia would not want to have a diplomatic solution? Like
Oh
what
no,
things have
Colombia
been
will
brought
work
forward?
with us. Colombia absolutely will work with us. A lot of our
Okay.
American businesses are in Colombia.
So who
It's not
won't?
Colombia that's the problem, and it's not Guyana that's the problem. It's Venezuela, because Venezuela has massive oil reserves, and they're not doing much with them right now. Okay, Trump doesn't want
Okay.
to control the
So
oil fields. He wants Venezuela to build their economy off of those oil fields. If they build the economy in Venezuela, he's actually a stabilization
but we
strategy right
keep
here.
we
It's not
keep
a deconstruction strategy like how you suggest. We've been doing things in the past, and I think you're going to see this in the coming 6 months to a year, where there's going to be investment in Venezuela. Like people go, well, MAGA said America first, and then he said sent $40 billion to Argentina, and it was like that was a credit line currency swap, and the United States
Yeah,
couldn't
but
send
the
them a
whole
dollar off of it.
$40 billion with Argentina is contingent upon their right wing party taking control of the government, which is extra fucking problematic. And I
It's
don't think
all
we should
about.
be sending them a single
Let
cent. Hmm.
Okay, so you're America first.
No.
So well, I don't understand what you're saying.
No,
Like I don't
as an
understand. You're
overall
America first.
policy, no. As an overall movement for our country, no. I'm not America first in the way that the conservatives and MAGA
So
portray
you're
America
you're
first. I'm still talking. But
so you're an
why
isolationist.
no, I'm not an isolationist. I'm the
So you're
exact
against
opposite
us
of that.
helping
I think that
stabilize
we need
this
to be
country, and then you don't want us to tear it down either. You just want us to leave them alone, let them rot, right?
no. No.
Okay.
But
For them.
we should not be giving $40 billion to Argentina that's contingent upon their right-wing party taking control of the government.
How is
Meanwhile,
the credit line
shush.
contingent upon the right wing government taking power again?
Are you going to let me finish my thought or
Yes,
are you
I
just going to keep
apologize. I didn't mean to cut
interrupting
you off.
me?
I apologize.
So, us giving Argentina $40 billion contingent upon their right wing party taking control, maintaining control of the government is absolutely a shit policy. Also, in the process of doing that, it's undercutting American farmers. Have you not seen the farmers coming out and speaking about what's going on and how Argentina was selling soy to China for less of a price while also going to take this money? Like that's a terrible fucking policy. Like literally the shirt that I'm
It
wearing
was actually
is
Brazil.
the literally the shirt that I'm wearing is farm aid. I spent 4 days in Minnesota talking to farmers, face to face with farmers just a
Do not
couple of
tell me
weeks
you're from
ago.
Minnesota.
I'm not from Minnesota. I live in Florida.
I, okay, I'm from Minnesota.
And I was at Farm Aid. I was at Minneapolis talking to farmers. I have footage for hours and hours and hours of talking to farmers. You can look on my socials. I posted about the EATS Act. I spoke with people from the ASPCA and people who are looking into and pushing for ways for farmers to get into regenerative farming and bringing family farming back to the forefront over CAFOs. Like I spent a whole lot of time talking to farmers, and they're really fucking pissed off about this because it puts them in a position where our American farmers are going to lose their ability to continue to produce crops in this country and lose their access to their homes and their land. It's terrible for us to give that money to Argentina. It's also terrible for the consumer because when our farmers lose their property and lose their ability to farm, whether it's in the meat and poultry industry or in crops, it goes to corporations. And when corporations have control over the crops and over how we produce our meat, they also have control over the pricing. They're cutting out competition. Like it's absolutely a terrible thing for us to do to give Argentina this money and then Argentina undercut us when we supposedly don't have the money to feed the people that live here.
Was China going to buy the soybeans from us?
China was buying soy from us, and during the
Yeah, can we stop
Trump
that, please?
administration, we lost over 800 family farms because of tariffs and the shit that he was doing. He's doing the exact same thing again. We had a record number of farmers who lost their family farms, generational farmers who lost their family farms under Trump because of him attempting to do the same fucking thing.
Okay, you kind of gave me a lot to unpack there. You were in Minneapolis at ASPCS, I believe is what you said.
At Farm Aid.
Farm Aid. Okay. I'm gonna have to look up that event because I attend a lot of
I mean,
events.
I had a conversation with Tim Walls and Hope, and we taught, and his daughter Hope. You said, eh?
Tim Walls is on the hot seat right now, but I'm not gonna go into him right now. I think a lot of the things that you're hearing from people in the inner city are hyperbole.
No,
Okay.
like I went out to a family farm. Like I have pictures from a family farm. I talked to multiple organizations who are trying to help people move towards regenerative farming. I'm not talking to people in the city. Like we left Minneapolis and went out to a farm. And they
Which direction did you go, might I ask? I'm very
I'll tell you the name of the farm. Hold on. I have to go back and look through all of my posts to tell you the name of the farm. It starts with an S. The guy was actually an immigrant. Oh, look. Here's me talking about factory farming. We talked about California's Prop 12. Sorry, this is loud.
I'm familiar with California's politics.
You're familiar with it or you're not familiar with it?
Unfamiliar.
So California had Prop 12, which they voted in favor of, and essentially it made more strict conditions for beef, pork, and poultry farmers to keep the animals in better conditions. That was part of Prop 12. I'm gonna have to go to my stories archive.
What does the law actually say?
I'd have to go and look it up for you. Okay, so the thing that I was right. So the thing that I was specifically talking about was Regenerative Alliance, and Salvatierra Farms is the name of the farm. Look, there's their chickens, little chickens. Oh, that's more Farm Aid. That's the farm. No, I'm not vegan.
Okay, I was just getting a very weird, earthy kind of vegan vibe from you. So
no.
I don't want to give you a canned response to the tariffs and the way that he's handling that, because I think that would be insulting to your intelligence. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that one alone for now. Educate myself further, and maybe I'll call back on that one. I'm gonna cede that ground to you.
Okay. Well, if you wanna learn more about California's Prop 12, I posted a video both on my Instagram and on TikTok 6 days ago. It was specifically pertaining to the EATS Act and how that would erase people's votes.
Okay.
So, I think it's a terrible idea for us to.
That you want to talk about? Like I personally, I think that the aggressive energy strategy that he's doing is beneficial to the country, and I know that it hurts some people's feelings to say that, but most of these same policies were enacted by former Democrats as well.
Alienating other countries and causing conflict with other countries is not beneficial, because in the United States, we don't have the ability to manufacture things for ourselves. We don't have access to resources. We don't have access to certain minerals. We don't have access to a certain amount of oil, nor do we have the refining capabilities for the oil that we do produce. Thank you, Donald Trump. So it's completely untrue.
Yes, I can.
Where do we refine our?
We refine our oil in Texas. That's where our refinery is at. And then Southern
California. What refinery in Texas?
The exact name of the refinery?
Yeah.
Can you name me the people that make microchips in Taiwan?
No, I can't. But I can tell you that we sold.
Me neither, but I know the refinery's there. So,
but we sold our largest refinery in Texas. We got rid of it. Port Arthur, Texas.
For refinery incentives in the Big Beautiful Bill.
I'm sorry?
Was there funding set aside in the incentives for building more refineries in the United States?
I don't remember off the top of my head what that information would be.
I can't remember the exact number, but that funding was in there. And then,
but again, that's moving back to fossil fuel. Fossil fuel is finite.
We're an oil-driven economy right now.
But we have to move away from that.
I understand what you're saying, but how are you going to power an entire economy of transport off electricity.
It has to be done in stages. You can't wake up one day and just say, everything is electric now. It has to be done
Okay.
through incentivizing corporations, because we all know that corporations are not going to just do the thing for the sake of doing the thing, especially if it costs them money up front. All right? We know that.
Where are we going to get all the cobalt and lithium that we? I mean, we have cobalt.
By
Lithium,
working with countries collectively, not alienating them, not enslaving their people, not by causing genocides. We have to work with countries collectively.
We're not going to get off all these buzzwords. I don't like to do that. Okay.
Genocide is not a buzzword, sir. Genocide is something that is actually really happening to the people of Congo and Sudan. It is not a buzzword.
Where are the largest cobalt reserves in the United States? Not in the United States, but in
I don't know. Where is it?
We're going to need 1 trillion tons of cobalt and the amount of lithium to store that energy as well. Do you know how power works?
Sure.
Do
Physics.
you know like how load sharing and everything works for like powering a power grid?
But what is the point of this? What is the point of this? What I'm trying to tell you, and you're still not understanding this, is that fossil fuels are a finite source. And so, when in the One Big Beautiful Bill, when we had incentives for corporations to move towards greener energy to create power for our homes and for other sources like businesses, and you remove those subsidies, the cost now is being passed on to the consumer. So now they're not incentivized to upgrade their infrastructure and their systems. And the costs that were taken care of by those subsidies are now being forced onto the consumer. We're moving towards green energy because fossil fuels, again, are finite.
What do you think that they make the adhesives that bind the windmills together and the concrete that builds it? Where do you think that comes from?
Yes, I understand that oil it needs to be produced in order to.
What do you think that's made from?
But in comparison to I'm aware that the petroleum is involved in the production, but compared to the amount of oil and that we need to produce in order to create power is exponentially different, friend. We're talking about building parts and maintaining parts on equipment versus full power from. I'm just going to keep talking. Whenever you try to talk over me, I'm just going to keep talking. So if you're going to continue to talk, then you asked me a question and I'm answering the question. The difference is you're talking about building something with a small portion of using fossil fuels versus being fossil fuel dependent. The things are not the same. Yes, we can continue to use fossil fuels in production of other methods of energy production, but the difference is being dependent upon fossil fuels for that, for our energy production, and using fossil fuels for parts. There's a very, very large difference in the amount of fossil fuel consumption that would be necessary for those two things. Drastic difference.
Again, you're conflating how we drive our economy with how we power homes and how we power commercial enterprises.
For fuck's sake.
I understand. No, don't get angry. Don't get angry.
I'm not angry. There's no way you would ever get me angry.
Well, I'm not trying to get you angry. I'm trying to be nice. I'm a nice person. Your end goal was let's say Canada promised net zero policy. All our homes are built on renewables, as you call them, energy resources, right?
Okay.
In that economy, how would you get there faster? How would you get to that point faster? Would you do it by hurting the economy to get there? Or would you do it by letting oil reign supreme until it's replaced? Just like every other technology.
The only way we can replace oil is by doing it in stages. Corporations are not going to front the cost in order to move from fossil fuels to clean energy without incentive. We need incentive. They need to be incentivized to do so. We know the corporations are not going to do the right thing, nor is it financially feasible for the average American to power their home with solar like that. It's not. Most people who have solar lease the panels. Like, it has to be done in stages. You can't wake up one day and go, We're not using fossil fuels anymore. It doesn't work like that. And anybody with half a brain knows that.
I agree.
Even correct. Chaos coordinator is correct. Even China is changing incrementally. That's the only way that you can do it. You can't just mass produce.
Coal than everybody in the world combined. Like, I don't want to say everybody in the world, but they burn a ton of coal in China.
Sure.
Not sure. It is. It's true.
I didn't disagree. I said sure.
Yeah, but I'm getting.
Sure is an affirmation.
Mad that I'm saying that.
No, I'm not getting mad that you're saying that. Even China is incrementally moving to cleaner energy.
Would you rather see the solar panels built here in the interest of national?
I don't care where they're built.
See, that's where we differ then, because I do care where they're built.
So how are we going to build them here? How long does it take for us to build a manufacturing facility? How much would it cost to build a manufacturing facility?
Probably 10 to 15 years onshore, R&D it, and get it up and running. And make
Thank you for the heart, me.
Probably 10 to 15 years.
So what are we going to do for the next 10 to 15 years? Are we not going to incrementally move towards... Okay, so...
We're going to run... the power grid's already powered. It's powered by coal, gas, and nuclear plants. Okay? There's no rush to replace them. A lot of that infrastructure is new as well.
So why?
I'm just weird. It's very weird to have these positions because the amount of acreage that solar panels use is absurd. It's not like a nuclear power plant that could power 70,000, 80,000 homes. One solar panel does not power one home.
Correct.
It takes like 30 of them just to power one home. I don't know the exact math.
It depends on the panel. It depends on how you store the energy at your home. If you're using it directly from the panel without storage.
Who could store the energy?
That's what I just said. If you didn't overtalk me, you would have heard me say that.
Storage at all that exists in the United States.
Are you sure about that?
You point the giant battery out to me.
There are batteries that do store solar in people's homes. I live in Florida, my guy. Like half of my neighborhood has solar, and they do have.
I've seen a solar battery in a home.
We do have them. People have them in their garages. There's actually Tesla units that people put inside their homes that store the power.
Well, we're talking about like keeping the entire grid up and running kind of storage, not like, yeah, I got a couple car batteries strapped together with a jumper cable in between the two of them.
I mean, Disney does it. Disney has solar fields and stores the solar and powers a lot of their resources off of solar.
Disney?
Disney, yes.
Okay. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Sure.
What is the guy?
But if they can do it, why can't other people do it?
$350,000 home in Minnesota, and I can't afford to put $60,000 worth of solar panels on my roof.
You can lease them. You can purchase them on finance. Or we can continue to push everybody towards green energy and drive the cost down.
So it's almost like a totalitarian concept then.
How so?
Because we could just push everybody to do it. We can make them do it. If they don't want to do it, we can make them do it.
It's not about making people do it. It's not about making people do it. Look, most people who get solar panels here in the state of Florida end up getting rebates for doing it. They get tax rebates. Okay, so they get tax credit for using green energy. And then also the power companies provide refunds to people. They actually pay people to use the solar that they're producing on their homes. Is it affordable for everybody? No, but in this economy, people are buying groceries on credit cards.
No, yeah, I know. I agree. This economy's been like this for the last 6 years.
No, sir. No.
COVID, yeah.
No. No.
Yeah. I was alive. I was here.
So was I.
You can't sit there. Yeah, like you can't sit there and be like, no, it just got good for 4 years and then just got terrible in the last 8 months. Like, come on now, be fair. Like, you have to give credit where credit's due. This is why I don't.
So what has he done to help the economy? What has he done?
Then you get ideologically driven into these corners.
I know. I hate the nervous laughter.
Like
So what has he done to help the economy? What has he done to drive down costs? Because I recall,
Well, he didn't have to do anything with eggs because all he had to do was wait because there was a big flu outbreak.
yes, there was an avian flu outbreak. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He did import some eggs and stuff like that, but that had nothing to do with driving the cost down.
No.
It was just a market correction. Chickens lay eggs, eggs hatch, reproduce more chickens, and eventually the price of eggs comes down because they're producing more eggs. It had nothing to do with Biden. It had to do with
I mean,
the regulations that have been in place for the last 30 years for the CDC that when you have a avian flu outbreak, you just wipe out the chickens. That's what they do. They don't do that everywhere.
right, you have to cull the entire cull the entire crop, essentially.
Yes, and only the United States does that, mind you. Okay, instead of breeding these chickens to have immunity to these diseases, they just murder them because they're worried that it's going to.
No shit, and that's that's what I was talking about with the EATS Act and California Prop 12 to stop stuff like this from happening, because it's a whole big fucking thing. We can go into muscular diseases and overuse of antibiotics and all this other stuff, but that's not the point. What has Trump done to help the everyday person get things that they need, not things that they want, things that they need: food, water, housing? What has he done to help make it affordable for everyday people? Brenda, some things aren't, you can't vaccinate for certain things. Yes. Yes.
That's not, again, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm going to play devil's advocate, okay?
Sure.
The Republican strategy is to reduce the price of energy so much that it drives the economy.
We're not.
Okay? That's what they're doing.
So you want people to suffer now for what is a potential short-term fix that is only going to be a problem again later, rather than build a long-term solution while addressing the other small contributing factors.
Ma'am, the strategy is to build a competitor to open, not at the leisure of a foreign conglomerate. Okay?
What's the strategy? Okay, break it down to me. What's the strategy?
They're setting up a competitor to OPEC, which is what I was talking about initially.
Uh-huh.
OPEC controls 80% of the world's oil reserves. Are you aware what the petrodollar is?
Yes, I'm aware of OPEC and how OPEC functions, and I'm aware of the deals that Trump made with OPEC about reduced production and all of that shit. I'm aware of that. So what is this competitor that they're trying to set up, and how are they doing it?
They're partnering with South American countries.
Partnering or strong arming? Because I think wording matters.
I can see some ground there that they're kind of strong arming Venezuela, but Colombia's already on board. They're working with Brazil right now with diplomatic negotiations, and if they can't, I mean, you look at the history of Venezuela and the United States, and it's just a tragedy that they ever, lost footing with us in the first place, because they used to be one of our greatest energy partners in the world. And when the socialist revolution happened and all that stuff went down, and then it basically disintegrated the entire relationship since the 70s.
Okay, but let's not pivot. Let's stay on topic. What exactly?
A brief history of what Venezuela was. They were our ally at one point. Okay.
And then what happened?
It's a long story. If I knew the exact history, what I'm just saying is that they used to be our ally. Do you know what happened?
I can tell you that history is repeating itself. What the fuck? Hold on. I gotta hold on. I can't, hold on. Just give me 1 second. I have to mute this person in my YouTube chat because the shit that they're saying is absolutely unacceptable, and I don't even want people to read it. Yeah, Trump happened. Exactly, a Tropos Trump happened. If you're a mod and you see the corn bots in the TikTok chat, please just immediately block them. Yeah. Block them and then mute it so the comment goes away. Royal B said we're back to factory reset. All right, so
do you think that relations between Venezuela and the United States can improve that?
Say that again one more time. The first like
Do
couple
you think
words.
that relations between Venezuela and the United States can improve?
Sure, absolutely. There's room for improvement.
Okay. What if they refuse?
What if Venezuela refuses to work with the United States?
Yes. And continues to
They're
supply
their
goods
they're
to
their
their
own country. They have the right to refuse.
Okay. That's, I guess, where we see things different because in the United States, we tend to strong arm people. And I know that makes you feel uncomfortable, but if they don't want to take stabilization, then it's regime change. That's always been the foreign policy of the United States. No matter who was the president, they always came in and did that. How do we get away from that? Who's really pulling the buttons? These are questions that we.
I mean, how do we get away from that? It's other countries have
You have
access
gotten
to
away with it
nuclear
for months,
firearms.
okay? And by being an isolationist,
I'm
you're
not
not
an
getting away with it
isolationist.
either.
Well, I'm definitely not an isolationist. I definitely believe in cooperative efforts to make things better for everybody, but that's not what the United States practices.
Okay, so if Trump pulls off setting up a block against OPEC, would you give him credit for that? Because that would help fund getting your green energy initiatives, creating more tax revenue for things that I want, like socialized medicine. Those would all help fund that. You give Trump credit for that if he pulls it off.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'll give him credit for stuff. I gave him credit for something the other day. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was something. Oh, okay, he hung up. So I would give Trump credit. I gave, what was it, WIC? He wants to is how some of the tariff money is spent. Obviously, that's up to Congress. Ultimately, that's up to Congress. But he wanted to give money to the WIC program in order to keep that program running during the government shutdown. So, yeah, like that's a good thing. That's a good thing. People need WIC. People depend upon it. Now, will it happen? I don't know. Congress needs to get their thumb out of their ass and Mike Johnson needs to do his job. But I don't understand why people think that threatening other countries and causing harm to other countries is a good thing. It's not a good thing. Forcing your will upon people, which obviously Republicans like to do in many different ways, only causes problems. It only causes violence. It only causes hatred. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, you can never force someone to your will without repercussion. How do you think we got all these T organizations that hate the United States? Because we went in there and then we fucked with them. We went in there and tried to fuck with them. We fucked with their economy. We fucked with their people. We fucked with their access to resources. That's why these organizations exist. That's why they attack the United States. That's why they don't like the United States. That's why part of why 9/11 happened, because we do these things. It is not beneficial. If you think it's beneficial in the short term, we could have a conversation about that. But we have to think longevity. And that's part of the fucking problem, right? Boomers had that same thing. Like, we're only going to see right in front of our face and not down the road. And that's why we got a lot of policies, and we got into the point where people can't afford college, and we got to the point where people can't afford to buy homes on a single income. We got to the point where people can't afford to live on minimum wage, because that's not how it used to be, but boomers fucked that up. Because of that short-sightedness, that me, I need it now. And then they want to talk about younger generations and their need for instant gratification. Our need for instant gratification is, am I going to be entertained by a video in the next 7 seconds? And if I'm not, I'm going to scroll. These things are very, very fucking different. No, people were able to live on minimum wage, MAGA till one whatever. People were. People used to live in single income homes and be able to purchase homes based off that single income. People were able to go to college for fucking free, and then they were like, wait a minute, the black people are doing it. We can't have this. And now college costs an exuberant amount of fucking money. Like, it's crazy. Minimum wage. Oh, God. I have a job. I got the job. Thank you for asking. People used to be able to afford a whole second family until you find out at the funeral. No shit. No, look, my mom is a boomer. My dad is a boomer. Some boomers are cool. My parents, I don't want to get into that, but whatever. Like, it's it's crazy. I have to verify my activity because apparently TikTok active. I'm on screen, TikTok. Look it, I'm here. Fucking stupid. Your grandfather supported a family of 10 on $67 a week? That's amazing. Let's see what that would be now. Let's see. $67. So your grandfather, we'll say that was like, I don't know, we'll just guess in 1950. 1950 today. $67 in 1950 is equivalent to the purchasing power of about $900 today. But we also know that that rate did not keep up with the cost of living, inflation, and all the other fucking shit. 1950s? All right, that was a pretty good guess then. A moment of silence for the parents MAGA has taken from us. The one thing I can say about my mom is she did not vote for Donald Trump. As much as, listen, my parents are a whole conversation, right? My mom is racist. Trying to get her to unpack that shit. But that's why when people are like, I'm an Italian from New York, I'm like, of course you fucking are. It was $900.38, Boakley. My dad's a Republican. He didn't vote, actually, which I'm glad he didn't vote, because if he was one of the Latinos who voted for Trump, I would have fucking lost my mind. But my mom didn't vote for Trump. She voted for Kamala. Yeah, like this shit is wild. Wild, Tia. Wild. Your dad did the first time. Both of my parents did the first time, too. My mom's vote for Trump the first time was based purely off internalized misogyny. I can tell you that for sure, based on the conversations that I had with her. Why don't we ask Trump to make E-Verify a law? No jobs, no sources. All of the immigrants would leave on their own. No taxpayer money involved. That's true, Lee. That's true. I agree with you, J-Lo. I agree with you. I think that taxing, it wasn't even just FDR, right? Clinton did the same thing too. Clinton increased the taxes on the upper tax brackets. And that's why we had such a good economy under Clinton. We had the expansion of social programs, and we had the taxing of the wealthy. We know these things work because we've seen them work. That is true. Yep, Clinton created a surplus from the exact reasons I just stated. Because we expanded social programs, and we were able to do that from the tax revenue collected from the wealthy. Taxing the wealthy and expanding social programs gave us a booming economy. It gave us the ability to end our fiscal ledgers in the black. My younger brother is very much a Democrat or left-leaning. Not left-leaning. My younger brother's a leftist. My older brother is a Republican, and that's because he also, it's a lot of unpacking, but there was a lot of discrimination that my father faced, a lot of discrimination that my brother faced, based off of their names and the fact that we spoke Spanish in public and a whole bunch of other fucking things. Like, I've told this story before. When I was a little kid, I was in the grocery store with my grandparents and my dad, and this was in New York, Yorktown specifically, and we were speaking in Spanish, and I got fucking spit on. Now, did they intend to spit on me directly? Probably not. I was just a child. But getting yelled at and saying to speak English in America is fucking crazy. Now we want to ensure billionaires become trillionaires. Yeah. Like the bootlicking for billionaires is crazy. They have more money than they could ever spend in their lifetime and the lifetimes of their children. And we're doing things to ensure that they continue to make the same money. We can't, their families who are buying groceries on credit cards continue to suffer. Oh, my bad. Is that better? It's on that side of the desk, so I can't really do anything about it. I'd have to move it to the other side of the desk, but I could put it down. Do I believe that Kamala is a better person than Trump? Yes, I do. Do I agree with everything that she's done? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't agree with her not speaking out against what Israel was doing. I don't agree with her not making a push for ending what was going on in Gaza, and for her saying that when asked if she would do anything different than what the Biden administration did, and she said no, I don't agree with that. And even when if you listen to anything about her book, if you read her book, even she says things like that. Right, and there's nothing we can do about that now. We need to save the big booty Latinas from Trump. Yikes. Your phone died? No worries, Steven. What is my issue with Trump? My issue with Trump is that Trump is not an ethical person, is not a moral person, has done so many things to harm women and children in his personal life that he should have never been in office. I don't agree with him spending 230 or 250 million dollars by decimating the East Wing to build a fucking ballroom. Like, that's wild to me that we would spend over $200 million to build a fucking ballroom, but then have the audacity to cut programs that feed people, that feed children, that feed those 1 in 5 kids who go to bed hungry every night. Like, that's my problem with him. Your OBGYN said you need to. That's the other thing, right? All the shit that's going on with the One Big Beautiful Bill and how it removes subsidies from the ACA and how people are not going to be able to remove their afford their insurance anymore. People have already started getting letters from their insurance companies talking about the increase in cost of coverage. We're going to see on November 1st, when the open enrollment begins, exactly what those costs are going to be for everybody. I don't agree with that. We're pricing people out. He couldn't get rid of 2 weeks. I have a concept of a plan. Nothing ever came to fruition. So rather than fix what was there, he's taking away everything to make that program, that ability to have health insurance away from people. Like, that's crazy. And then his plan is to be like, see, the ACA doesn't work. Like, no, you fucked it up. Was it a perfect system? No. Was it a way for us to get millions of people on insurance? Yes, it was. And it could have been improved upon. It could have been made better. But it's always concepts of a plan. It's always 2 weeks. It's always all this shit, but never a fucking fix. Yes, I agree, Overcast. You like fruition? Yeah, Lysandra. I mean, people are seeing an increase in their insurance if you're lucky at 75%, but some people at 300. Right, you can't pull the rug without a replacement. So what are we going to do? Those subsidies need to continue. We can't have 11 million people lose their fucking insurance. Matter of fact, Florida is like the leader in people who utilize the ACA in the insurance marketplace to get their coverage. In Florida over here, like, yay, Trump, woo! Like, you fucking idiots. You fucking idiots. Even my mom is mad about it, right? She's mad because her Medicare supplement is going to go up and she can't afford her Medicare supplement. Like, we cannot do. It's so crazy. Hey, Skylar, it's so crazy that we're telling people to do things against what we know keeps them healthy. Vaccination, for one, right? telling people not to vaccinate, questioning the legitimacy of vaccination of things that have existed for decades that we know are proven to be effective to help public health. And then on top of that, taking away their ability to access preventative care, to access care when you're sick. Like, that's crazy to me. And people are cheering that on. Like, how? How? Well, real truth, I actually do participate in activism in real life. So these are just conversations that we have. I mean, you can call in if you're friendly, if there's something that you want to bring up to the chats. I'm more than happy to let you talk. I think the more voices that we have that are collective, like a chorus, the better it is. Your dad's supplemental went up 1,900%? What the fuck? I think my mom said her supplemental was going from $92 to $180 something. So this is an exponential increase. Like that's a vast difference. Right, and don't take Tylenol. This dumb bitch told people not to take Tylenol, to take ibuprofen, when we know ibuprofen causes birth defects. Like, we know for a fact that it is not safe during pregnancy. We know that. Hi, Tatsi. How are you, my love? Right. It is not the left versus the right. It's the rich versus the poor. And when people who do that my fun shit start to realize that, then the world will be a better fucking place. Hey, what's up, caller? How are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. What would you like me to call you? And if you could tell me what state you're calling from, I would appreciate it.
All right, you can call me Royce, and I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, what's going on, Royce? What do you want to add to the conversation today?
Hey, I was the one that just asked if you're taking friendly calls, and
Okay.
the reason I was calling in is because I think that we need to really recognize what's happening in the country due to our government.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Trump, man, like he is in the middle of trying to seize power exclusively into the executive branch.
Yeah.
And that's something that needs to be repeated constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know the average person or the average voter don't understand how he's trying to, destroy the checks and balances, they won't see the things that he is doing now as fascistic.
Unfortunately, people continue to follow him blindly.
Yeah, and I think they're doing it because I watch a lot of debaters on TikTok and YouTube and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the folks they bring up to talk to them say this, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't even know he said that. Oh, I didn't know he did that. And it's a bunch of that.
Yeah.
But not, and then when you bring up the things that he did do, let's say all the Constitution violations he's been doing, or just the ridiculous things that he has said, like when he said that, he wanted to, eliminate all rules and regulations, even some of those found in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Like when as a leader of a country that is backboned by the Constitution, saying things like that should, wake folks up to say, hold up, oh, like, is this guy really out here trying to be a dictator? And it's
Yeah.
so obvious, because he flirts with that shit all the time.
Yeah, he jokes about it.
Right. And it's like everybody thinks it's a joke. They say, oh, well, Trump, he's just joking. He's just joking.
Yeah, but
he
he's
joking?
not.
Was he joking when he said he walked into the changing room of women and girls at the pageant? Was he joking when he said he can just walk up to people and grab them by the what?
Right.
Was he joking when he said that he can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a supporter?
Right.
He was priming these people to be cultists.
Yep.
And it's crazy because they just went along with it.
I mean, he's even still doing it now. He posted just a couple days ago on Truth Social after he posted, I believe it was Saturday. It was either Saturday or early Sunday, an AI video of all of these, like, the election yard signs going through every year or every 4 years. And then the very last sign says Trump forever. Like,
Yeah.
guy is not joking.
Yeah, he's not joking. When he said he wanted to be dictator for a day, and then everybody kept saying, "Hey, y'all," he said that shit. And then,
I
because
said,
when I was coming up, when I was growing up and learning about government, dictator was a bad thing.
right.
You know,
And when have you ever seen somebody be a dictator for just a day?
it doesn't. It's not just a day.
Right.
One day.
Right.
And you don't stop.
It's crazy. And people were like, that's not what he meant. We had the Trump translators.
They make so many excuses for it. Even when he tells you that he's going to do something. Like, a lot of folks that voted for Donald Trump was like, "Oh, I didn't think he was really going to do that." He told you what he was going to do.
And it's so crazy because before the election, we talked about him bringing back stop and frisk. And people are like, that's not going to happen. Even people of color, Latinos and black people were like, he's not going to do that. Like, no, he is. He said it. And now look where we're at, right? Being able to racially profile people.
Racially discriminate and just pull people over or stop folks because they're brown and they don't speak English?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. It's crazy.
Like, people need to wake up for it all, and they need to stop defending the man. I mean, like, if like Obama said, had I done any of this, the man wore a tan suit.
Right, the fucking tan suit.
And Fox News wouldn't get over it for a month.
I know. And somebody in the chat said, ask the farmers how MAGA is going. Listen, the only reason...
With Argentina, like, see, he 40 billion to Argentina, and then he gave China these ass tariffs. China run around America to buy their soybeans from
Right.
Argentina.
Right.
Like, dude, you idiot! Now all these soybean farmers are going bankrupt. They got all this crop that they can't sell to anybody because of your stupid ass tariffs.
Pork is suffering too. Yeah, Aria said, and the Dijon mustard. Do you remember how they lost their mind that he wanted Dijon mustard on a burger?
Oh my god!
Like, who loses their mind over that?
Their mind over Dijon mustard, but tearing down the East Wing ain't a problem for them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which he said, by the way, that he wasn't going to do.
Wasn't gonna do.
This man consistently talks out of both sides of his mouth.
Supreme Court justices said they won't mess with federal law. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Right. It's just, it's wild. I don't get it. And people like are saying in the chat on Twitch, why do I care about farmers if they voted for MAGA? Listen, I care about farmers because ultimately what happens to the farmers impacts everyone.
Everybody. Yeah.
Because if we don't have access to agriculture, if we don't have access to crops and it goes to corporations, which, by the way, JD Vance stands to make a shit ton of money as that happens, we're going to not be able to eat. It's going to be a depression. It's going to be the Great Depression.
The prices of common food is going to go up astronomically, and we're going to have to sit there and deal with that, and most families aren't going to be able to deal with that, and we're going to cut food stamps too, right?
Right.
So now what we're going to do? Like I was saying, like it's not a left versus right thing as far as it is. I mean, it is a left right when it comes to certain type of social issues, but what it really is up and down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rich versus poor.
With money and the folks without money.
Right.
I think Trump looks at poor people the same way he looks at black people.
Yep.
So,
Yep. But you can't tell them that because they think Trump isn't racist.
Oh my God. It's crazy because he'll sit there and say they're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're rapists, they're animals.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say that about a group of people, and then people come out and say, "Oh, he's not racist." No, he's not racist. And then the same thing, the group chat that just came out from the Young Republicans.
Oh, God.
So they're not racist, right?
Right.
Here's a litmus test. How many Klansmen you think voted for Kamala Harris?
Not a single fucking one. Every single one. Every single one of them.
That's the litmus test.
Right.
There it is right there. Like, look, if every racist in the country voted for one person, he must be doing something a racist like. And that's why
He-
they won't denounce the shit that the racists say, because that's part of their base, you know?
The man took out a full page ad
And
villainizing children. Like they were young adults, but literally like they were children. How could you say he's not
their
racist?
whole lives.
And still triples down on it.
Even after they got exonerated, he still doubled down on it.
Right before the election. Right before the election.
He's not racist. No, Donald Trump is not racist. He did so much for HBCUs. And then
He
they're
didn't
rolling
shit.
on that too.
He didn't do shit.
Come on.
Like they just look at the dollar amount and go, "Oh, but he gave X million dollars to HBCUs." Yeah, but if you look at it, you also have to realize that it's over 10 years. And so that money that he gave them is not anymore. It's actually less than what the previous administration gave.
And then when Biden got back in office, they made it extend longer. And then when he got back in office, he cut it off again.
Hmm.
It's like, I don't know. Like, you know what really grinds my gears? These black Republicans. Like the black Trumpers, though. Not even like black Republican.
Blagas.
Blagas. That's the Blagas.
Yeah.
They like Officer Tatum.
I don't want to speak on the black community because I'm not black. That's not for me, but I will talk about the Latinos for Trump. Now, if you want to talk about the black community, if you're a black person, by all means, my platform is yours. But I will not speak ill of black people because that's not a conversation for me.
The same way you are about the Latinos for Trump is the same way I am about the blacks for Trump.
Mm.
Because it's like, come on, dude. The man made it very clear how he felt about you.
Right.
You know, like, especially for the, I'm not trying to speak on the Latinos because I'm not Latino, but the man spoke about people of, you know,
The entire BIPOC community.
BIPOC. Is that what we're saying now?
Well, BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, people of color. So it's all encompassing, right? So it wasn't just black people, it wasn't just Latino, it was also Indigenous people. Like he's also done things to harm the Indigenous community. So it was the entire BIPOC community.
And I think there was a conversation earlier about the Keystone Pipeline.
Yes.
Do people know why they shut it down, or do they care?
They don't care.
It was going straight through native stuff, you know, like through their
It
territory.
was going to contaminate a large water supply.
That don't matter. It's capitalism.
Yeah.
So
Build, destroy, destroy, destroy.
Yep, and I could barely hear the conversation that you were having with someone about energy and fossil fuels and stuff.
Mm.
But my thing is, like, hey, like you said, this shit is finite.
Yeah.
It is not gonna last forever. And once it runs out, then what?
Right.
Nobody ever talks about the end game of this. Like, say we hit the bottom of the barrel when it comes to drilling here.
Mm.
Then what? You know, like, what do we do after that? Like, we're gonna be really dependent on energy from every other country.
Right. And then we have no ability to strong arm them anymore like we do now. So they can just cut us off. They can just cut us off.
I thought the nuclear energy idea was a good one.
Mm.
And,
But that also, we have to also look at environmental impact too, right?
right.
Because
And it has to be hella regulations on that.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta red tape somewhere. You know what I mean? Because like just in Ohio, in East Palestine, Ohio, there was a train crash.
mm-hmm.
Damn near nuked East Palestine, Ohio.
Yep, I remember that.
And the reason that happened is because they cut the red tape and they didn't have to upgrade the brakes on the trains.
Mm-hmm.
So when the train crashes happened from Norfolk Southern and they nuked that city, you know what they blamed? DEI.
Yep. It wasn't the fact that they cut regulation. It wasn't the fact that they weren't making unions stronger and giving people, I mean, like a lot of people don't know that rail workers like don't get sick time and they're excluded from certain things that other industries are permitted to have. Like there's the rail industry
and being deregulated, it was just catastrophic.
Especially for Norfolk Southern, they've been. I heard a rumor that they've been using Civil War technology for their brakes, and
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm like, so when you cut the red tape on, regulations, hey, inspectors coming in making sure everything is on the up and up. The reason they do that is so you won't have train derailments in the middle of a city. And you virtually nuked the city because after the train car derailment, they had to burn all that shit. And it got blamed on black people. DEI is just another dog whistle.
Yep.
Like,
Oh, wow.
Before that, it was CRT.
Yep.
So, like.
But are you surprised though? Because look what happened with Charlie Kirk, right? When Charlie Kirk was unalived, I have to use TikTok friendly language. When Charlie Kirk was unalived, people and there's still like there's a road not that far from me that they made Charlie Kirk Memorial Highway. I think it's like 30 minutes from me. Like this man sat there and said if he got on a plane and the pilot was black, he would question.
Wonder if they were qualified.
Right. Like you have shit like that happening. My friend just.
Charlie Kirk has been going after black women specifically.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how Ketanji Brown Jackson was stupid. He was talking about how all these different black women, Joy Reid, like it was like 4 black women that he was talking about specifically that he thought were stupid.
Oh, and it's not even just about like notable figures. If you actually watch him do these quote unquote debates, the prove me wrong tents that he sets up at college campuses, when black women speak to him, he is especially heinous. He treats them completely different than how he treats a white man who comes up there and questions him.
But I think he wouldn't have got away with that shit if there was a black man standing right next to her.
No, he did. He did. So, what is his username on here? Shit. He's my mutual too. I know his real name. I can't think of his fucking username. Damn it. He went up there. Okay, so I went to Texas, to Texas to try to debate Charlie Kirk, and he wouldn't debate us. But my friend, why can't I think of his name? He has the SPL podcast. What the fuck is his name? Somebody in the chat will know. But he went up there and he actually spoke to Charlie Kirk, and he was really fucking nasty to him. He just doesn't like black people in general, but especially black women.
Like folks would say that Charlie Kirk was a voice for peace and blah blah blah. I'm like, man, Charlie Kirk spewed so much hate, and I wish he wouldn't have got shot.
Let me explain why that's relevant. Almost 2
shot because he needs to like face some people. Because when he went to you remember? Did you see when Charlie Kirk went to Cambridge?
Yes, and he got absolutely destroyed.
His ass toasted.
Yep.
So, like, Charlie Kirk was a Trump, I don't know, pawn, I would say. And here's a conspiracy. I think Trump got him hit. But that's just a little conspiracy. Don't take no truth behind that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Trump got him hit just so he wouldn't have to deal with the Epstein files no more.
Yeah. No, people are trying to say, is it Santana? Was it Chris? No. It wasn't Hector either. I can't even say, like, when he starts his videos, he used to have like really long locks and he cut his hair. But when he starts his videos, he says lock in FN. And I'm obviously not going to say what it is. But I can't think of his username. I have to look it up. I'm going to look it up. But he was the one who, MAGA Till I Die says they want to be let up because they need to correct you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them very well, but we can let them up. Is that okay with you?
I'm on a house phone, so.
No, it's fine. They're on TikTok, so you'll be able to hear them. Simple Black Theory. Thank you. That is his username. Simple Black Theory. He actually debated Charlie Kirk. All right, we're going to let you up. Hey, hold on one second, MAGA. What did you say? So MAGA, what was it that you wanted to correct?
The just the talking started at his death to try to correct and himself. I'll be Charlie on his behalf to correct the narrative because what both y'all are saying, frankly, is just lies.
It's
So,
not. There's
when it comes
video
to the-
evidence of it.
Correct. Have you watched
I can hear him through the
any
phone.
actual debate video of his from start to finish? Have you ever done that?
Yes, I have, and I was physically present at a Charlie Kirk event.
Oh, I know y'all. Your little wannabe tour of hanger-ons wanted to try and grab some of his notoriety, but were exorbitantly
I
failed.
don't give a fuck about notoriety. I don't give a fuck about notoriety. My bills are paid whether I'm on social media or not. I have a job, so I don't care about notoriety.
Good for you. I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
So, first of all, the
He's
statement
talking
of
about your tour.
Yeah, he's talking about the Unfuck America tour.
yeah, that seems to be
I'm
going
hearing him
gangbusters.
from the YouTube. Yeah, you're talking
So,
about
what is it that you want to correct?
The statement that if he sees a black pilot, he automatically is this guy? Who do you want to talk first?
MAGA, we're gonna let MAGA talk. Just hold on one second, Outcast, because I remember your username now. I'm not gonna say your real name because people are crazy. But yeah, go ahead, MAGA.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. So just the statement that if a black pilot.
Your internet connection's cutting out, MAGA.
Sorry.
You said just this. Yeah, you said just the statement that what?
That if he saw a black pilot, that he would be worried that they're qualified. He said prior to DEI, he wouldn't even have dreamt of having a question such as that. But because of DEI and because of their blatant and egregious lowering of standards for every bit of their hiring processes, he now has to question whether that person who is black is piloting the plane got there due to these standards being lowered, if they were a recent hire because of these lowered standards, or if this is a very high qualified and veteran. I thought I was talking.
So, but this had nothing to do with DEI, and my.
Like, even if DEI is the thing, I would be asking that question about white pilots too. These white folks that ain't even qualified. I would think the same thing.
Haven't there been white
When I
pilots
see a
since
black pilot, it shouldn't
air
just be the fact
air
that
travel
it's a
has been a
black
thing?
pilot. It should be that
Haven't there been white pilots since
I hope they're qualified. You know what I'm saying? But when he sees a
Can
black
dude even
pilot,
hear me?
He may not be able to hear you. Hey, Outcast, can you hear him talking?
I can hear him
If we
talking,
can't,
like 30 seconds ago through my headphones off the live we're on right now, but I can't hear him through the phone though.
then I'll just rather talk to you, Amanda. That's just it's not productive to try and talk past each other.
Okay, so Outcast, I'm gonna disconnect the call. I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna give MAGA a chance to talk and see what he has to say, but I look forward to seeing you in the chat, and thank you for contributing to the conversation today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me up.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, MAGA. So what were you gonna say?
Just that there have been white pilots ever since the advent of air travel. So that's a ridiculous argument on its face.
Well, there were no regulations then. There was no regulations when air travel was invented.
So then how is that relevant to the question of DEI?
DEI is not relevant in the hiring practices of pilots. They're qualified. Like, did the Tuskegee Airmen not pilot airplanes?
Okay, then answer me this question. Then I guess if you implement a quota or a perceived quota of asking that you have a certain number, and you actually put a singular number on the number of applicants that you want to give a job to that represent a certain demographic instead of represent the highest, the best, and the brightest for the job.
So, okay, in order for me to answer your question in totality, I have to ask you a question. And I don't like to answer questions with questions, but it's important because it's a clarifying question. Do you know the difference between DEIA and affirmative action?
No, they're essentially derivatives of the same thing. It's simply the fact that the notion that if there is a discrepancy, then it's due to discrimination at all examples, which is a complete farce. It's
No.
just Marxist rhetoric is all it is. So it's not actually legitimate. It's just a furtherance of the
So so there are no hiring
ideology.
quotas. There are no hiring quotas in
There
DEI.
was for there was for United Airlines. They said they wanted at least 30, I believe it was 30% of their pilots that they were bringing on, the next wave of pilots, they wanted them to be black or black women. I can't remember I think it was
Okay.
just a black
All right.
individual. They wanted
Let's
30% of their new hires to be black.
Sure. Okay, so let's go with that. Now, what regulations that pilots are required to achieve, the qualifications that they're are required to achieve in order to become a commercial airline pilot, did they alter in order to achieve that?
I don't work for United Airlines, so I couldn't tell you that. I don't know what
Well, I
requirements
know
they
the
have
answer. The
for
answer is none.
The answer is none. What?
They did not change any regulations in order to achieve that. So the people that they would be hiring would still have to go through the same. They have to. I didn't ask you a question. I didn't ask you a question.
So I'm answering.
Nope, I did not ask you a question. The only thing I asked you was what regulations did they change? The answer was none.
I'm answering that.
The answer was none. You answered it. In order for someone to be, you said you didn't know, and I answered it. I told you the answer is none. So, in order to become a pilot, you have to pass instrument ratings on different aircrafts. You have to have a certain amount of flight hours. Those are two basic requirements for being a pilot. Okay? Nothing, no regulatory changes were made that would put anyone behind the joystick, the steering wheel, whatever you would like to call it, of an airplane in order to achieve a higher level of rating, a higher level of hiring for a specific demographic. So they are not less qualified. They are the same. They have to meet the same qualifications.
Great. So answer me this then: if they don't change a single bit of their regulations or their hiring practices, then how can they expect to achieve a new level of a certain demographic if nothing changes? Wouldn't they have already received the amount of demographic that they are reaching for organically if they were just hiring on merit alone?
No.
Wouldn't that be the logical outcome? Yeah, it would be. Because they would be able to pick from their pool of potential hires. They would just be able to pick out of them the 30% blacks that they were wanting.
Please don't say blacks, because black people are not crayons. They are black people. So you can say black or black people, but not blacks.
Why would you say that? I didn't call them crayons. That's weird.
Okay, so you're not listening. You called them blacks. Blacks using that terminology is dehumanizing. They are not crayons. They are not they are not inanimate objects. They are black people.
I didn't know this was a
language matters. Okay. Okay. So I have a black person, a femme-presenting black person who would like to address this with you specifically. Tati, how are you doing this morning? A black femme-presenting person. They're non-binary.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, well, that's a you problem. Tati, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What would you like to add to the conversation?
So, Maggie, can I ask you a question? Earlier you said that white pilots had been pilots since the beginning. Hear that correctly?
Yeah, all pilots essentially had been a majority, if not all, since air travel. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why that was?
because there was segregation and they weren't even allowed to get these jobs.
Okay. So that would be the reason why we need DEI
And
in
that ended
affirmative action,
That
correct?
ended in the 60s. We're in 2020 fucking 4 at the time of this.
We're in
at the time of this
2024?
story. At the time of this story, let me finish my statement, please. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I just did.
Okay, so at the time of the story, we were in 2024. All right, cool. So you just admitted that the reason we need these programs is because of
I didn't say we
segregation.
needed anything. Nope.
You did.
I didn't say we
you made
needed
my
anything.
argument for me.
Stop
I
over
didn't
talking,
say we
MAGA.
needed anything.
Stop. Let her finish. If you
did
wanted to
make my
finish, you need to let them
argument for
finish.
me. But I find it interesting that you recognize that pilots were white for the majority of the time because black people were not able to have these jobs. And now that black people are able to have these jobs, it seems to be an issue. So now we need protections to be able to be picked for these jobs. It doesn't mean
What
we're less
protections do you need?
qualified. I'm not finished. It doesn't mean we're less qualified. Doesn't mean we didn't go to school. It doesn't mean we didn't get the flight hours, since we're talking about pilots. Doesn't mean they didn't go through all of the things. It just means that they need the protections to be able to be chosen, because 9 times out of 10, people are going to pick white people, clearly, as you have stated, because white people have been the standard for said jobs since the beginning.
If they have all the same qualifications, then why haven't they been black pilots for all of time?
Because
Answer me
they
that.
weren't allowed to be pilots, correct?
They
That's
have
what you
been since
said.
the 60s. They have been since the 60s. Where you been?
Was I alive in the 60s? Do you know how I am?
I have no idea. It doesn't matter. How does that matter in any way?
It does matter, because in the 60s we still had segregation going on. The last segregation actually ended in like 2016. Like, let's be honest. Let's jump into reality. Segregation technically ended in 2016.
I don't think you would know what reality was if it slapped you over the head.
Yeah, let's jump into reality, and also let's not be disrespectful. I haven't been rude to you. I haven't been nasty to you. Just because you don't like black people and you don't want to talk to me is not my issue. So let's not be rude and disrespectful. It's too early in the morning for that.
He ran.
Yeah, figures, normal. But for people in the chat, if you're listening and you would like to know, DEI doesn't have quotas. There are no quotas in DEI. You're actually legally not allowed to have quotas if you have a DEI program. You can't say, I want 5 black employees and 5 Hispanic employees and 5 Jewish employees as part of my DEI structure. Like, you're legally not allowed to do that. Affirmative action is where certain types of quotas come in, and affirmative action actually helped out white women the most.
Yep.
But affirmative action is no longer. So now that DEI has afforded mainly black people the ability to be in C-suites and to have high-profile jobs is the reason why they are running it back.
Okay, I see. I get that. I like that. I'm with you. I'm a black man myself. I think people's big problem with DEI that DEI comes at an earlier point. DEI comes in applications, not hiring. DEI says that you have this many applications, let this group of people in. See, when it comes to actual training for the airlines and stuff, that comes way further down the line. So his whole entire point that we didn't have black people coming in, they're coming in untrained, unworking, they don't know how to do it. That's not true. I worked for American Airlines. I know how it all works.
I mean, he's also completely negating or forgetting the fact that black women are the highest educated demographic in this country.
True. I love black women. I love all women.
I do too.
But it's just like wow to me that people are always blaming DEI for things. But DEI isn't the problem. DEI is so far back in the chain of things that it doesn't play a part in 90, 80, 100% of problems that you hear on the news and stuff.
DEI is also so many other things.
Yep.
DEI is making sure that the bus stop is in a good location so kids aren't getting mowed over on the road. Like DEI encompasses so many other things that if you are a able-bodied person, you would never think about. Automatic doors, escalators, things that
Falcons, right?
make life easy.
Right.
Like DEI encompasses so many things. It's about diversity, which is adding people that look like all different types of people. Equity, which is not equality. Equity means that everyone has the ability to be on the same playing field. And if you need some extra assistance, then you have those extra assistances. And then inclusion, which is making sure that people from all different creeds, all the things are included. And then accessibility. So, like, if you're not in a wheelchair, having a wheelchair ramp or having a cutout in a curb would not make any need. You wouldn't need that because you can step up on a curb and you can walk upstairs. But if someone is wheelchair bound, those are things that they need. And if you don't have a DEI program at your job, those are things that you may not have in your office. Some office buildings don't have those things.
People don't
And DEI
realize
allows you to have those things.
people don't realize that automatic paper towel dispensers are part of DEI. Having tampons and sanitary napkins in bathrooms, part of DEI.
The little foot things on the door and the handles that they put in after C19 to
DEI.
stop the spread of germs is part of DEI.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's not DEI is white males from the age of 20 to I would say like 28 who have nothing, who are just perfectly like healthy, nothing wrong with them at all. It's a very like probably like what 2% of the country. It's ridiculous. But I'm gonna get off of here. I just wanted to get my 2 cents.
Well, thank you,
First,
Stephen.
thank
I
you,
appreciate
Amanda.
you. Thank
Love
you.
you
I
on this
appreciate you.
platform. You amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to disconnect you for the algorithm, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.
So allow people who are over the age of 40 to not be discriminated against.
Yep.
For jobs. And I say 40 because in the working field, 40 is considered too close to retirement to hire.
Yep. Yep.
Because you really only got about 15 good years until you're ready to leave a job. And jobs don't want to hire people that aren't going to start, that don't have longevity anymore.
DEI is having policies for breastfeeding.
Yeah. Allowing you to do that and having time off for mothers and fathers.
FMLA is DEI.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Falcon.
To mention that because I am a lactation counselor, and that is part of the volunteer work that I do is to go out to local employers and let them know that it is a violation of federal law for them not to accommodate their breastfeeding employees and to make sure that they have lactation spaces so that so that women, especially women who are working at like non-corporate jobs, women who work in like warehouses, in mechanical fields and things like that, have access to these lactation spaces because while the law has been changed, compliance with that law is really, really low. And then the other thing I want to highlight to anyone else listening is when it comes to the federal government, federal hiring practices, the largest recipient of DEI initiatives when it comes to federal hiring practices is actually U.S. military veterans because they get a higher points rating system on their apply for federal jobs. And there are programs to help you transition from the military into federal work when you get out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
So you want homeless
It's not just that, though. It's not just that. That program also expands to spousal preference for positions.
And military spouses also get preference when it comes to federal hiring practices.
Yep.
So if you're someone that cares about military families, if you're someone who says that you support our troops, that you care about our veterans, you can't say that you don't like DEI policy because that is literally taking food and jobs out of the mouths of veterans and military spouses. And
Yep.
and that is just a fact.
It is. It 1,000% is.
I believe 80,000 veterans so far have lost federal jobs this year because of the rollbacks of these DEI practices. And so we're having more and more veterans that are in these situations. You can call the military the biggest welfare program all you want. The fact of the matter is these people joined, they served, and they deserve better than this, regardless of the intention or how the program is run. That is not the fault of individual veterans.
I agree.
And they deserve better than this.
Robbie said it's not a negative connotation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This week has been insane. We've been trying to get the Stand Down project done for Veterans Day. And when I tell you the government shutdown has impacted everything, I mean, we can't get VSOs out for this project because so many of them are working federal jobs and they're furloughed. We can't get VA education services out. I don't think we have a troop worship problem. I think that if you've been in the military and you understand how difficult it is, I've been in the military and had civilian jobs. There are things our military asks of us that no civilian employer ever would or could.
Correct.
Please tell me where you have been a mechanic under mortar fire in the civilian world, and let me know which job is more dangerous.
But it doesn't even have to do with but it doesn't even have to do with what job is more dangerous. There are things that as military service members you're required to do that another job cannot ask you to do. Like you're not required to show up at a moment's notice and go to a dangerous area without additional pay, because if it doesn't fit under certain guidelines, you don't get hazardous duty pay, but you can still be met with hostility. Like but Robbie, the thing is, what you're not understanding is a lot of people in the military, especially lower enlisted, are so poor because of the financial compensation that they're given that they're on social programs like WIC and SNAP benefits. So it's not the same.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Like most of the civilian jobs that are dangerous, and everyone goes to like deep sea underwater welding, like people that work in the North Sea that do underwater welding. Like that is an extremely dangerous job, but they get hazardous pay because it is a very dangerous job. Like that's when people think of dangerous civilian jobs, that's the first one that they always think of. And I think people don't realize that civilian jobs get that extra hazard pay. They get extra thought. Their job gets extra thought. They get hazard pay. People think about their well-being more and add in securities and buffers to make sure that the well-being is always taken care of. And in the military, that's not always something that's built in.
Right.
And people in the military are often asked more of themselves that they may not have to give, but it's the necessity of the job.
I just want to highlight that if you are a civilian working a civilian job and your job is dangerous or it becomes unsafe or untenable for you to continue in a very dangerous position, you can quit. You can quit. You can't quit. You can't wake up in the middle of a deployment and be like, wow, this mortar fire really sucks. I'm gonna go home. Like there's no quitting. Like
no, you can't quit.
You can't. Okay, so Robbie, when you have military recruiters in high schools, right? When you have 17-year-olds that are allowed to sign military contracts that have, I promise you, 17-year-old me did not know that I was going to join the military, to join the Air Force, mind you. I joined the Air Force as a photojournalist and ended up in maintenance. 17-year-old me, I was going to end up being a mechanic, that the military could take my original contract away and put me in a different job because the needs of the Air Force come first. 17-year-old me did not know that I was going to deploy to bases and have to work in chemical warfare suits under mortar fire during in
She didn't
combat.
even know when I enlisted. I didn't know what stop loss was. I didn't know that was a fucking thing.
I signed up for the military to be a fireman, and I was 17, or I photographer, and I was 17 years old. I did not know that I was going to be SA'd. I did not know that I was going to be physically abused by my leadership when I was in the military. I knew absolutely none of these things, and I was lied to by my high school recruiter.
I was
And
too.
so, regardless of whether or not you like the system that our US military is set up in, these service members, and I'm not even talking about myself. I know service members that have been through some absolutely horrid things. There was a young, I don't want to say her name on the live, but there was a young woman in Korea that was being gang raped by her leadership, and she could not get out of it, and the only way that she was able to get help was by adding the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force on Twitter, because she was being gang raped by all of the men in her leadership chain. And there's no escaping that. You're stuck in that. When you go to Korea, you're there for a minimum of a year, if not 2 years. There is nothing quite like being in the military. And yes, I agree. The systems that the military is built around, the way that they exploit young people to join the military when they have no idea what they're getting into, are absolutely horrid. Yeah, and dishonorable discharge means
It ruins your life.
Yeah, it ruins your entire life.
That shows up on every background check. Every background check. You'll never have a security clearance. Yeah.
So and again, there are whole organizations, Veterans for Peace. I want you to understand that dishonorable discharges are nearly a death sentence. I work for a local mutual aid group, and we are working with a veteran right now that has a dishonorable discharge, actually for being kicked out under Don't Ask, Don't Tell for being gay. And that veteran is homeless. And not only does dishonorable discharges show up when you're applying for jobs and when you're applying for security clearances, it also shows up when you're trying to rent an apartment. It shows up on background checks and credit checks.
You have a better chance of getting a job with a felony than you do with a dishonorable discharge, almost.
Robbie, what you're not understanding. Robbie, let me ask you this. Are you a veteran?
And you want to know what's really crazy is my recruiter fed me when I joined under my photojournalism contract. My recruiter fed me the whole, because I had an issue with the dropping bombs thing. That was something that I was terrified about as a teenager, and they told me that I would be working with the PJs on humanitarian missions, that PJs did search and rescue. And so when I applied for my contract with photojournalism, I had a recruiter feed me all of this bullshit about, the Air Force is one of the largest humanitarian forces in the world, and we used to be, before Trump got elected the first time. And I thought that I was going out to document humanitarian aid missions.
Right.
That's the thing. They lie. They say, just join. We'll pay for your school. You'll go in. You can be a nurse if that's what you want to be.
So people don't realize.
But it's
People.
it's hard for kids.
people don't realize, first of all, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody who would say that their recruiter didn't lie to them about something. But people don't realize that military service for many people is literally fucking extortion, because a lot of people who join the military have no future where they are. They live in a poor town, they don't have access to education, they don't have access to basic human needs because they're so poor. So they join the military looking for a better life so that they can feed themselves and feed their families, and they do so under the guise of being promised certain things, and it's not delivered upon.
So when I joined the Air Force,
It's predatory as shit.
When I joined the Air Force, I was a homeless teenager living in Alabama, and
Exactly. See.
and when you apply for FAFSA and you're under the age of 26, you either have to be married, have a child, or have a parent sign your FAFSA paperwork. So while I was a really smart kid, I had access to FAFSA grants. I had schools that were offering me money to college. I did not have parents to sign my FAFSA paperwork. So what my school told me to do, they sent me to the recruiter's office. They told me, you're so bright, it sucks that you can't accept this grant money and this scholarship money. The military will take care of you. That was my high school's answer to this homeless teen saying, I can't get my FAFSA paperwork signed by my parents. I did not learn until years later that my school guidance counselor could have signed a piece of paper saying that I was a homeless student and didn't have parents, and that would have.
I'm sorry. That's
I'm trying to turn up the
So
volume for
but it
YouTube.
happens over and over again. But it happens over and over again, and I know thousands of veterans with all of these stories, and it's not about hero worship. It's about making sure that the people who did sign these fuck-ass contracts, who put their life on the line, you look at Tammy Duckworth in Congress, the woman has no legs. I want you to be so for real when you say that it's hero worship to provide jobs and education and stable employment for veterans who have sacrificed a lot for this country. And there are veterans who are fighting the system. Again, Veterans for Peace is an organization out there that understands the fuckery of what our military has done.
And I mean, ultimately, it's about people that deserve to be respected and need help and deserve housing, deserve healthcare, deserve to be able to have jobs, deserve to have a roof over their head. And if you can't have simple empathy for people, then you need to check some things that are going on. It doesn't matter if they were in the military or not. It doesn't matter what they did or didn't do. People deserve to have housing, healthcare, and to have jobs and to be able to eat. And if you don't think that, then you need to check something inside. And if you think that they don't deserve it just because they were in the military, then that's an issue. If you think they don't deserve it just because they may have been incarcerated and now they're not, then that's an issue. Like people deserve to be able to live. And if you don't think people deserve to be able to live and function within society, then that's an issue, and you need to check something within yourself.
No, and Robbie, like we don't disagree that everyone does. Like we agree that everyone does. But we also have to recognize the fact that people are lied to, that they're brought into this organization based on lies. We also have to realize that during their time in this organization, people develop mental health issues because of their enlistment. So they not only have mental health issues, but also physically have problems when they leave service. And they're promised these things, right? Like loan sharks. They're promised these things. I was promised to have college money. I was promised to have college money. Do you know what happened to my college money? Fuck if I know, because the VA fucked up and the Army fucked up when I was discharged, and they fucking marked me as deceased, and they told me I didn't have access to benefits. It's fucking crazy, because when I got out, I applied for my GI Bill, because at the time it was the Montgomery GI Bill. I wasn't eligible for the post 9/11 because of my term of service and blah blah blah, yada yada, whatever. So I paid into the Montgomery GI Bill. When I got out, I got my letter for eligibility, and I was going to go to school, got pregnant. And in the time that I was pregnant and the time I gave birth, 10 months, 40 weeks, I reapplied after, and they're like, oh, that service member is deceased. I had to fight them. They wouldn't tell me how to appeal. At that point in time, the online services were not what they are now. I had spent hours and hours and hours and hours. When I tell you every single time I called, my wait time just to get on the phone with someone was at least 2 hours. I'm not fucking kidding. And I gave up. So I paid into a benefit that I was supposed to get and never received that benefit. No, I know you're friendly, but I think that you don't understand the scope of the military, having not been somebody who served, and not understand how predatory it is. To say the thing that you're saying is unfair. Do I agree with the way that our government utilizes the military globally? No, I don't. But also at 17 years old, I enlisted 7 days after I turned 18. Did I know at that time what was going on? No, I knew that 9/11 happened, and I wanted to serve my country, and I wanted to protect my country from more bad things happening, but I did not understand. I was not capable. I was not emotionally or mentally mature enough to understand the ramifications of that enlistment and the things that would come from it. We're going to just disagree on that, Robbie. We're just going to disagree. Go ahead, Falcon.
Oh, no, I also like Gulf War sickness, cancer from burn pits.
Agent Orange.
There are so many things that so many civilians are not exposed to. And again, you will meet thousands of veterans that agree with how fucked the system that we are being used in is. So much so that there are whole organizations, whole nonprofits like Veterans for Peace who are dedicated to dismantling these structures and these systems. But the reason that we have the structures and systems in place that we do today for veterans is because the veterans who came home from Vietnam were treated horrendously. And there are still Vietnam veterans who are combating the issues with that. There's another veteran that you'll run across here on TikTok. His name is Magnus Thorne. And he is a Vietnam veteran with a lot of health issues as a result of his service. And he has a very similar story to Amanda of fighting the VA, of the VA telling him that he was deceased of just... And it's crazy that these stories aren't unique, that so many veterans go through this over and over and over again by a system that promised that they would take care of us if anything happened. And I think that's...
Right. And then they don't even tell you how to fix the problem, right? They create this problem, they make the mistake, and this is with so many different veterans benefits that you're supposed to have that are part of what you were told you would be given. They don't even tell you how to fix them. Like they told me, oh, you can appeal. Okay, well, how do I appeal? Nobody would fucking tell me. I was calling different parts of the phone tree and going all over the place. Nobody told me. So I ate it, and I have $40,000 in student loan debt.
I'm sorry, Amanda. That sucks. But yeah.
It's fine. I'm never paying that bitch back.
DEI is objectively a good thing. It majority benefits white women. Even before Trump took office again, there were Black activists calling out the fact that Black people were actually the least likely to be recipients of DEI initiatives. I'll send you the CNN article. I think I got kicked out of your Discord.
Yeah, if you don't have an active sub, and the way TikTok is with the way they change subs, it's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can't afford to give you $10 right now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The Discord's not even really active. Nobody fucking talks in there. I'll try to talk to you people, and you just ignore me. So I love you, but also fuck you.
But I want to say that DEIA is objectively a good thing, and that it helps lots of people. It helps veterans. It helps military families. It helps women fleeing domestic violence. It helps women who want to have children and nurse their babies. And more breastfeeding moms in society is a good thing because it is good for babies' immune systems. We have better long-term health outcomes, and it's not saying that formula feeding is bad. It's just, as a society, making lactation accessible to more women is a good thing, and that's all a part of these initiatives.
Also destigmatizing breastfeeding, because breastfeeding, if we look even just a couple of years ago, before they really started focusing on using DEI initiatives for breastfeeding in public, even still today, but more so just a few years ago, was very frowned upon and was told that it was inappropriate and it was lewd for people to breastfeed their children in public. Like, it's wild.
So that's my spiel. It's good to see you. We have the DC field trip coming up in November. It's November 20th through the 22nd. There's going to be a pig protest in DC on November 22nd. It's called Rage Against the Regime. And what is the name of that band? I'm sorry, my brain.
Rage Against the Machine.
No, why can't I? It's the Irish rock band that
Dropkick
everybody loves.
Murphys.
Yes, Dropkick Murphys is coming back to perform at another protest for us this year. They did
That's
one.
amazing.
We love Dropkick Murphys.
They performed for us at a protest for veterans in June,
Mhm.
and they are now coming back to perform at this impeachment protest.
I'm gonna
And-
follow you. Can you follow me and like DM me when that is?
Yes.
Thank you.
And then the other thing that sets this protest apart from the other protests that have happened with 5051 so far is that they have gathered a group of volunteers from every Senate and congressional district across the United States. And before the protest itself, they're actually taking volunteers into Congress as volunteer-like lobbyists to lobby for impeachment. And they, like I said, they have a team of volunteers from every district in the U.S. And if you want join this, again, the will let me put the flyer up. Ignore my face. My face is not what's important here. But yeah, that's the flyer.
Send me the flyer. I'll post it on my Instagram story.
Perfect. And then the website for DC Field Trip is literally just dcfieldtrip.org. And they're getting volunteers together to tell Congress that this is super fucked up. And the goal is to say that if you've got a group of people from Podunk, Kentucky, willing to go all the way to Washington, D.C. to show up in person to tell their Republican Congress member that they are over this shit, that if they're willing to go all the way to D.C. to say that, what are they willing to do at home?
Right.
So my uncle and my dad are staunch Republicans, but they're also in love with Dropkick Murphys. So
That's crazy.
Hey, let's like so much so that my uncle has gone to Ireland twice to see them.
Oh, wow.
So like I could be like, hey, they're gonna be like, we should take a family trip to DC to go see them.
So go see Dropkick Murphys. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
I love that.
It's Remove the Regime. I forgot that they changed the name. Honestly, I've been in so many like Zoom meetings and organizer meetings over the last couple of months that I'm tired.
Yeah.
And then if you look up the Stand Down Project on
Ooh, real quick, Amanda, can you drop me for the algorithm? I gotta go get ready for Christine's live.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you too, bye.
For those of you who do care about veterans, there is a Stand Down Project happening for Veterans Day and Veterans Day weekend. You can actually find a listing of where your local stand down is happening on va.gov. They have a listing for the stand down, so you should be able to look it up in the VA's search tool. I am hosting one of those stand downs, and I am exhausted because it's like herding cats. but it's government officials that are supposed to be helping veterans.
Baptizing cats.
It's a big game of, hey, there was a federal grant to help homeless veterans that was supposed to be awarded to C3s in our area. Where's the money? Where's the money? Because there are no homeless shelters for veterans in my area. So where did the money go? So we've been asking. Stand Down is, think of it like a fall festival / community service event. Where you have a mix of tables that are like veteran-owned businesses, but also nonprofits and veteran service organizations that offer services like education and employment services, and also to help homeless veterans get housed. They are typically open to the public. Anyone can volunteer. It's a really great thing to participate in to help veterans get off of the streets. And also, like, our local food bank also comes to fundraise at the Stand Down. And with everything going on with SNAP and food stamps right now, raising money for the food banks is going to be a really big part of surviving this bullshit.
Agreed.
That's my spiel for today. Thank you for having me up.
Of course.
If you want, I can give you my mini embroidery update for today. This is where we are.
Nice. That looks beautiful.
I'm working on it. And thank you as always. If you want to drop
Thank you.
me, you can.
Sure.
I have a meeting to go to.
Okay, I will drop you. Thank you so much for all the hard work you do. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Bye, girly. All right, so as per usual, we have the YouTube, the tubies, as I call them, being misogynistic, which shocker. And we've had some interesting conversations today. I'm gonna check the news real quick, so chat amongst yourselves. There are some. Oh, wow. Okay, so we were talking about Senate candidate Graham Plattner this morning, and his tattoo, which was being said that it was a Totenkopf, and he said that he got that tattoo in 2007 when he was in his 20s in the Marine Corps. It happened during a night of drinking while he was on leave in Croatia. He said, adding he was unaware until recently that the image has been associated with the Nazi police. He is going to get a tattoo removal. Hold on. He chose to cover it up with another tattoo due to limited options where he lives in rural Maine. Going to a tattoo removal place is going to take a while, he said. I wanted this thing off my body. So he has since covered that tattoo. He said when he was 20 years old at the time, he was unaware that it was a Nazi symbol, and since then has covered the tattoo, but is looking to have it completely removed, I suppose. So he added that he has never questioned. Plattner added that he had never been questioned about the tattoo's connections to Nazi symbols in the 20 years that he has had it. He said it was there when he enlisted in the Army, which requires an examination of tattoos, which is true, for hate symbols. He passed a full background check to receive a security clearance to join the ambassador to Afghanistan security detail. Questions about the tattoo come after a recent discovery of Plattner's now deleted online statements that include dismissing military SAs, questioning Black patrons' gratuity habits, and criticizing police officers and rural Americans. Plattner has apologized for those comments, saying they were made after he left the Army in 2012 when he was struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. So, also, I want to point out that in the military, there's a whole lot of fucking racism. And it is easy for you to succumb to those things when you don't know better, when you're just a child. When you enlist in the military, you see a lot of people from rural areas, a lot of white men engaging in racist behavior. And when you don't know better, you can't do better. And it seems as though Graham now knows better and is trying to do better. So we'll see. Either way, he's better than fucking Susan Collins. I'm just kidding. He's not. Not if he said and did those things. But fuck Suzanne Collins. We'll see. Yeah, I would like to see what he covered the tattoo with. I try not to fault people for things that they did in young adulthood, because really, to me, if you're under the age of 25, you're still a kid. You're still a kid. Your frontal lobe hasn't developed. Your emotional level of regulation and maturity is not there. As somebody who has far surpassed that age, looking at myself at 21, 22, and the way that I thought, 30 for a man, if you're lucky, the way that I thought, the things that I thought were true, and the things that I know to be true today are vastly different. There were a lot of things in whitewashed America, growing up with parents who, one parent who assimilated when they came to this country, and the other parent who grew up with racist behavior, which is weird because my grandmother, her mother, is not racist at all. Like, she's super progressive. But I like to give a little bit of grace, but the best apology is changed behavior. So we'll see. We'll see. I am not speaking on behalf of any community. Let me be clear with that. I am not speaking on behalf of the Jewish people. I am not speaking on behalf of the Black community. I am not even speaking on behalf of Latinos and Hispanic people. I'm not. I'm talking about me specifically. I like to give people a little bit of grace when they're doing things to change their behavior and deconstruct and relearn. But I also side-eye people. I don't trust people as it is. So, you know. What is that? You met Graham? He's good people. Yeah, so they say. With age comes wisdom. So they say. Two Stroke says, my eyebrows have launched the moon. Funny thing, Two Stroke. My eyebrows really don't move that much. Because I get dysport. And Gen X says, my brain doesn't seem to be fully developed. Yeah, that's me. Gen X explains, I have an 18-year-old child. I am 40 years old, my friend. Nah. I mean, and that's the thing, right? People do things and they don't understand. Wisdom doesn't come with age for some people. Also true, Tyler. Some people get dumber with age. This person, Dr. Benjamin says, you have potential. I will turn you to MAGA. That will never fucking happen. Did you try to spell Pelosi? Oh, boy. Okay, that's good to know. Yep, I'm 40 years old, Palma. No, they spelled it P-O-L-O-S-I. Isn't it P-E-L? I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to say. Yeah, P-E-L-O-S-I. I'm eating ice because I don't have any more coffee and I'm thirsty as shit. So, what do we talk about? How did these conversations kick off this morning? Hold on, let me chew this so you don't have to listen to that. And Falcon, I follow your lead. I follow your lead. Black women in this country have never fucking steered us wrong. If you want to go down the right path, you want to do the right thing, you want to see positive change, listen to Black women. Listen to Black women. If you're not listening to Black women, you ain't doing it right. You ain't doing it right. Right, we talked to a gentleman who said he didn't vote but follows politics, couldn't articulate why he wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. He kept deflecting. Race and ethnicity are not the same thing. No, don't even listen to Latina women. I'm not even gonna front, because the Latin community as a whole, when we look at their voting record in the last election, is fucking abysmal. Too many people are roaches for raid in the Latin community, because we see a lot of people come here and they assimilate. They want their proximity to whiteness to be as close as possible. So stop lying on my name, please. Steven, you didn't articulate why you wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. You can rewind the YouTube video and you can watch it. Bruce is loose is an idiot. They may not have arranged it yet, Cassie. You have uninvited them to the carne asadas? I don't blame you. I did too. The thing that pisses me off when we have the conversation with Latin men, with Latinos, is that so much of a part of the Latin culture, right, is this, unfortunately, this machismo attitude, these machismo behaviors. And they want to be looked at as strong figures, as protectors, as people who, yeah, right, Natty, as people who deserve this place in the home and in society. But when we looked at how they voted, they didn't vote to protect their community. They didn't vote to protect their children. They didn't vote to protect women. Yes, lots of internalized misogyny. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, same. I got a computer because I work hard and earn it. Nobody give it to me. Okay? What does that mean, Robin? She was the vice president in that administration. You didn't articulate any of the policies that she was talking about that were detrimental. You didn't, Stephen. No, and saying men do men shit is a piss poor excuse. That's like saying locker room talk is acceptable. Like, grab her by the pussy is locker room talk, and boys will be boys. Like, that shit is extremely detrimental to society as a whole. Not just women, but men as well. No, Robbie. No. A lot of people who just recently got their citizenship voted for Donald Trump. Heavy ass accents and all. Okay, Tad, have fun. Robin wants a cookie. I'm not angry at you, Cosmo. You're just stupid. Anyway, we have a new live goal up there. We have a gift goal. It's the hand hearts. Can we get some hand hearts coming from the chat? I would appreciate it. It helps keep the live going. We've been live for 2 hours and 31 minutes. Y'all got to help support the platform. We got to do supporting platform shit. Thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate it. You just bake cookies for your kids' class. That's cute. Yeah. What is toxic? All right, Cosmo. I know you want to come up. What is toxic feminism? Please explain it to me. Come on up. I know you do. Because you love to yap. You're scared? Aw, buddy. Aw, buddy. That's so sad. I'm sorry. You okay? I know he is. Well, I gotta check my emails. Document has been completed. Okay. My new hire stuff. I don't care about that. 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 So yesterday, after I left live over here because TikTok was being a shithead and I stayed on YouTube, we did a giveaway. And now, if you were in the chat yesterday, don't you dare ruin it. I'm talking to you, Cassie G. I'm talking to you, Seti Bear. Don't you dare ruin it. Because I'm going to give somebody else the opportunity to win. And if I see you, Cassie, I'm going to fight you. Okay, you're zipped. Good. Christofferson, yes. If you saw it yesterday, you keep your mouth shut. Okay? Now. All of y'all went over to YouTube. Is that what happened? Is that what happened? Oh, so some people didn't say. All right. I feel like we should do another givey. We should do another givey. You guys want to do another givey? I would never, Cassie. I want to give something away. What should we do a givey for? What do you guys want to do a givey for? A pillow fight. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Nah. For coffee, you want to do a giveaway for coffee? A grocery store gift card? We could do that. We can do that. I don't know. We got to think of something that we can use as the metric for. You can't do that, stupid. If I did that. All right, here we go. I got an idea. Hold on. Give me a second. Hang tight. I got an idea. Nah, fuck Publix. Gemini is working overtime because I just need to verify this information and cross-reference it. My computer is just like kicked up. He's gone. He's off the app. No, it's fine. He's off the app. He's gone. Oh boy, P. Somebody thinks Trump ended all wars? All right. It's having an issue. Hold on. I'm just going to go get it from the information I got from Just Craven. No, you're fine. It's okay, honey. Mother trucker. Trying to find some good questions to ask y'all, because what I want to do is have y'all come up and answer questions, and if you answer 3 questions right, I give it to you. This is so annoying. Are we great yet? No, we're not, Omega. I wonder if Jess has it on her Instagram. All right, so I feel like this will be a little bit of a difficult thing. If you want to come up and you want a chance to win a Antifa Local 404 crew neck sweatshirt, which you can find on norads2thenads.com. You can see it for yourself. Come on up. I'm going to ask you some questions. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in the chat. Whoever can answer it first, will win if you want to win. Okay. this year, what state has a pivotal election to vote for the retention of their Supreme Court justices? First one to put it in the chat wins. I'm looking at all of the chats right now. So first one to put it in there. What state is voting in their pivotal election? Anima got it. Anima, you win. Anima got it. Anima was on it. It is Pennsylvania. Anima, DM me the size that you want and where you want me to ship it. I will ship it out to you after. No, it's Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has 3 Supreme Court justices, all Democrats, that they're voting on their retention for this year. Those justices are Christine Donahue, David Wetsch. I don't know. I can't say his name. Wecht, and Kevin Daugherty. Daugherty, maybe. I don't know. You never win anything, but you won today, Anima. You won today. So send me a DM. Write meow, because if you forget, I forget. And I will send you the Antifa hoodie. Or Antifa sweatshirt. So, who knows the significance of 404? If you know from yesterday, I'm not giving anything away. I just want to see if you guys can figure it out. So the hint that I gave away was California, and the sweatshirt says Antifa Local 404. Do you think you can figure out why 404 is significant? And it is not error not found. 404 is not error not found. There's something specific about California that is that is significant to Antifa. Why it would be on an Antifa sweatshirt. Going back to 505. So you have a chance to get on the internet and tell me what it is. Nope, not 404 districts. I don't live in California, so I don't give a shit about something like that. Also, make sure that you're voting about Prop 50. Yeah, now you can't say that anymore, Anima. You won. California sucks, but you love it. You're voting yes on Prop 50? Good. So who knows? What is the significance of something to do with California? Now, mind you, my platform is about politics and news. And 404. Are my lips real? I mean, they're on my fucking face, aren't they? Are you asking if I have lip filler? I'm group 7. I'm group 7. It's so funny. I was asking my friend last night what group they were in. If they were in group 7, they had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, have you been on TikTok? And they said no. And I was like, all right, well, open up the app and see if, like, just do a quick swipe through your FYP and see if you can see what group 7 is. Literally the first video as soon as they opened the app was a group 7 video. I was like, yes, you're in group 7 with me. Group 7. What does it mean? I don't fucking know. It is one of the greatest marketing things in the whole fucking world because she came up with, or she released a song. Sophia Johnson released a song and she did these like group videos and it just took off. And so her song is doing really well. Is there plastic in your lips? No. I don't have plastic in my lips. Oh, you got it. California. Yep, that's it. California Penal Code 404 deals with riots. I thought that was really funny. I thought it was fitting. Botox, not detox. What are you talking about? Hold on. No, they asked if I had lip filler. They asked if I had plastic in my lips. This specifically, they said, are your lips real? Let me rephrase so you understand. Is there plastic in your lips? The answer to that is no. I do not have plastic in my lips. Now, if you want to talk about toxins, injectable toxins such as Botox, Dysport, or Daxify, or Daxilin, whatever the fuck it's called, yes, I do have Dysport because I really have an expressive face where I like to make a fuck you face, and now I can't make a fuck you face. 6, 7. I don't know why the kids say that, but I thought it was funny. Good morning. Good morning. Is it for wrinkles? Yes, it is. Mike spelled detox instead of Botox. Yeah, Mike's an idiot. So, you know. Thank you. Even without it, I saw, like, all I have is like my 11s and my forehead. So that's why like my eyebrows don't go all the way up here. Why is your voice very high pitched? I'm a woman. My voice is exactly how my voice should sound as a person who has a voice. Like, what the fuck? Thank you, Toby. When am I battling Johnny again? I don't know. You guys should go harass him. But you gotta help me win. Yes, Botox does help with migraines. I vape. I'm a vapor. Don't call me baby. Ew. Oh, I don't care. Life. I don't care. They think that they're gonna hurt my feelings. They're not. He's on live right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? There's 116 of you guys in here. Do you think if we challenge Johnny Palmadessa to a battle that we could win? Can you guys like recharge your coins and do it? And do it? I use she, they pronouns. I don't care if people call me a woman, non-binary, femme presenting, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit. You call me a man. I don't fucking care. I know who I am, and I am solid in that as a human being. Smiley face. It depends on the day. By a show of hands in the chat, do you guys want to... No. Don't do coin misogyny, Drew. Don't. I am streaming on multiple platforms, Lightbulb. When I'm on live stream, I can't do that because then I can't focus. I got 20 minutes before I have to go to a meeting. So, and we've been on for almost 3 hours. We've been on for almost 3 hours and we haven't met this live goal. That's crazy because the other one was just boxing gloves. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Oh shit, I didn't see that. Outcast Network. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. You can call back whenever you want, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Like, you are just the nicest person that I've talked to in quite some time on out of the tubies. I'm sorry if you don't hear me now. I'll send you a text message and just let you know that you're welcome to call anytime. No one wanted it to move off of 420. Thank you so much, Drew, for the 3 hand hearts. Whoever sent the last one, it was you, Drew. I appreciate you. What about a BBL? No, I don't have a BBL. That's because you're the best, Drew. I don't think we have enough here. Thank you so much, Smiley Face, for the hand heart. I don't think we have enough here to beat Johnny in a battle. What do you guys think? Let's see. He might have somebody he's debating right now, so I might not even be able to request him. No, he has somebody up on his platform right now. What is her at? We're going to send a raid to somebody. Let's see. Who should we raid? Who do you guys want to raid? No, he's live right now. He has 627 people in there. He just went live. Lion's Mane, that's hilarious. I got your DM. Oh shit, that's funny. All right, Anima, I got your DM. Why not a Johnny raid? Because I feel like we should raid a woman or a femme presenting person. We have Christina Carroll, who's online right now, who has a much smaller platform, who deserves an audience. The wonderful Black woman who talks about deconstructing and a variety of other things. We love Christina Carroll. She's also fucking gorgeous. A little bit of a girl crush, I'm not gonna lie. We also have Defend Us Trans, who's on. We love Lainey. We also have Olive, who is on from the crew of the guys. We got Johnny and Hogboss. Mishi's not doing political lives anymore. They're mostly doing like TikTok shop and stuff. They've taken a step away from politics. And then also Zeus is live. So everybody's leaving like I'm getting off. I'm not getting off. I'm just giving y'all an opportunity to decide who we want to raid. Thank you so much for the hand hearts. I appreciate you. Unfriendly Heathen, you met you're demolishing that goal. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Is there anybody else in the chat, either one of the tubies or one of the TikTokers who wants to have a conversation about things that are going on with today's administration? And we can do that, Cassie. All right. What's Christina's at? I'll tell you. You should definitely follow Christina Carroll. Is there anybody else who wants to talk about Donald Trump and this administration and what you like or what you dislike? Let's have a chat. I would love to have a conversation with you. I got about 15 minutes. Her at is its_Christina Carroll. Yeah, Johnny's on. We're not leaving yet. I saw a whole bunch of y'all jump ship like I was leaving. I don't think anybody wants to have a conversation, which is really sad. Parker? Parker's not live. Not that I know of. Hold on, let's see. So we talked about the tattoo incident for Graham, who is running for Senate in Maine, how he said that he was unaware that that tattoo was a Nazi tattoo and had since covered it. Those photos were old. Oslo was here earlier. We talked about, let me just remind y'all, Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl this year. My husband, I love him so much. You can't tell me shit about Benito. You can't tell me a motherfucking thing about Benito. I'm looking for some updated news right now. We don't have anything really coming across. I haven't gone on to fucking Twitter. NFL is moving its Pro Bowl festivities to Super Bowl week. Rubio will travel to Israel to meet with Netanyahu, Israel says, as Trump officials aim to shore up Gaza's ceasefire deal. Trump's picked to lead. Nope, that was yesterday. Let me close these out. Let me close them out. This is I have a lot of news notifications. Go away. All right. I guess it's not going to let me make it go away. So because of the government shutdown, 60,000 air safety workers are unpaid. 60,000 air safety workers are unpaid. Could you imagine having to go to work and not get paid for your fucking work? That's crazy. And even if they get back pay, like, your utility company doesn't give a shit that you are not getting paid. Your mortgage company doesn't give a shit that you're not getting paid. When Mike Johnson is asked about the government shutdown, he fucking lies his ass off. He fucking lies his ass off, and he says that it's because the Democrats want to give health insurance to undocumented people. That's not the verbiage he uses, mind you. He calls them illegal aliens, and we all know that that is just fucking xenophobic language. But the truth of the matter is, the government is shut down because the Democrats are fighting to keep ACA subsidies. They're fighting to keep the cost of health insurance affordable and accessible to millions of Americans. Also, Mike Johnson refuses to swear in Adelita Grijalva. And the reasons he comes up with, I swear to God, are absolutely fucking crazy. They do, but they also don't have access. Undocumented people are not able to purchase health insurance through the ACA, through the healthcare marketplace, nor are they eligible for comprehensive Medicaid or Medicare. They're just not. And Democrats don't want to change that system at all. They're not asking for that. They're asking for a continuation of the subsidies that were removed under the One Big Beautiful Shit Sandwich so that people can continue to afford their health insurance. Because as we know, people are going to see a drastic increase in their health insurance premiums, anywhere from 75 to 300%. I actually made a video about this yesterday. I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. It has to do with health insurance in this country and approval ratings and things like that. It's just fucking crazy. It's just fucking crazy. Well, so the hope with that is that it's hospitals are able to write it off as charity care, and then they get tax credits. Marsha! Right, and that's due to EMTALA, which was signed into law by Ronald Reagan in April of 1986. Hospitals can't turn anyone away for emergency care, regardless of your documentation status. We're also very far into what would be Adelita Grijalva's term without her being sworn in. Mike Johnson refuses to call Congress or the House into session in order to swear her in, which is fucking crazy. Pregnancy status is part of it. It's the Emergency Medical Act, the Emergency Medical Treatment Act and Treatment and Labor Act. There we go. Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act. That's it. Words. Words. What's up, Kuya? I agree with that, Bjorn. I don't disagree with that. I think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby. Yeah, other developed nations provide emergency care to people who are not citizens. There's no reason why we shouldn't here in the United States. People shouldn't unalive on the streets because they're sick and they need medical attention. Right. So if you're not an active laborer, the way that they get around that is that it's miscarriages. That because of laws regarding abortion, and because abortion is the treatment that is necessary for ectopic pregnancies and incomplete miscarriages, they send pregnant people home to bleed out in hospital parking lots and at their homes. That's the way they get around it, because of their abortion laws. Yeah, of course, they're going to keep saying that, smiley face. They're going to keep saying that it's the Dems' fault. Deltron, just mute him. Put him in timeout. Yep, that's what I just said. EMTALA was put in place by Ronald Reagan. It was signed into law by Ronald Reagan. I want to say it was April 7th, 1986. But it was definitely April of 1986. Begrudgingly, he signed it, but he did sign it. I agree, Bjorn. I'm going to read that again, what we started the live with. I'm going to read it again. Hold, please. So this is a thread or a tweet, perhaps? A thread that was posted by my friend, also my manager, Qasim Rashid. To recap, $100 million on golf, $172 million for Jets for Ice Barbie, aka Kristi Noem. $230 million in DOJ payments to Trump. $250 million for the Vanity Ballroom. $40 billion to Argentina. $117 billion in annual tax cuts to the super wealthy, the 1%. $170 billion ICE budget. Meanwhile, this administration says we have no money for SNAP benefits. I am so fortunate to know Qasem and be friends with him. He's a wonderful human being and funny as fuck. So, Bethy, the reason it's an incentive to enable their right-wing party in Argentina because it's contingent upon the right-wing party holding power in that country. So, he costs us more when he's in the White House than when he's golfing. Big Mac, do your thing. Right. They won't be able to have benefits with the holidays coming up. They won't be able to have a holiday meal. They won't be able to afford to feed their families. Right. We're going to see rural hospitals lost funding because of the one big beautiful shit sandwich. The $40 billion to Argentina student loans and healthcare could be funded. Between the annual tax cuts to the wealthy, the money to Argentina, and the ICE budget, we could have all of those things. Just the ICE budget alone in conjunction with the tax cuts, we're looking at $287 billion. $287 billion with a B, doll hairs. That's not including the Argentina money. Why don't we have time off for pregnancy on the federal level? Because they don't give a fuck about pregnant people. They don't give a fuck about pregnant people. They don't want pregnant people. They don't want women working. They don't want either of those things. They want you home, in the house, making sandwiches. They want the trad wives. They want you pregnant, 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 pregnant. That is what they want. So at the federal level, it's a little bit more difficult than that, Poppy. The ICE budget is insane. They don't want women voting either. That is true. Trump, as a sitting president, should not be able to file a lawsuit against the government. I think it's fucking disgusting, Drew. That video and the video that he posted, the AI video of the yard signs for the next elections, he did them, in the 4-year increments, and then ended the video with Trump forever. And he thought he was just so fucking funny. Because again, the man wants to be a dictator. He said it. He said it. He said he wanted to be a dictator for a day, but when the fuck have you ever seen a dictator exist for just a day in any country? Oh, wait. I will wait. Well, I guess I'm going to be waiting forever because the answer is it doesn't happen. It does not happen. Nobody's ever a dictator for a fucking day. All right, guys. We're going to do a quick raid. We are going to raid our great, amazing friend, Christina Carroll. Their @ is ITS. That's India Tango Sierra _ Christina Carroll. Everybody go over there and give them a big Amanda raid. I have to go to a meeting here in 4 minutes, which I'm going to be late for because I am. Thank you, Tad. Put it in the chat. It's Christina Carroll. Drop them a big raid. There's 120 people in here right now. Go on over there. Say good morning to Christina. Give them some love. Again, Christina is an amazing creator. They do deconstruction lives. They talk about news. They talk about all different kinds of things. And they are an amazing person. And she's also gorgeous. Tell her I think she's pretty. Thank you so much for pinning that comment, Anima. Everybody have a great day. Be good. And if you can't be good, be gay and do crimes. Because, of course, we hit the FYP as I'm signing off. We got 8 hand hearts. Drop those hand hearts before we log off. Thank you so much. You're friendly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We hit that live goal. Everybody, big W. You're friendly on the way out. Again, we're rating ITS __ Christina Carol. I'll see you over there. We're going to drop her a quick hello. I love you guys. Be good. I'll see you later. Bye. Tubies, you hang tight because I'm going to be late for my meeting because you know I go over there and shit talk you. All right, Tubies. What the fuck y'all saying over here? Why are you, Mike, what do you want my attention for? You got 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds. Hurry up. I can't hear anything. That's weird. I wonder what happened. My phone just decided to say, we ain't doing that. There we go. No? Okay. All right, well, Mike doesn't have anything to say except stupid shit. So everybody be good.